All right, check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Triple City's Family Dental pregame show. Triple City's Family Dental pregame show.
Hey.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So normally what we just do, at least I say normal, we've done it twice.
Yeah.
So normally, like sometimes I've called in early, sometimes it's been like right at the break of the commercial and everything like that. So
Right.
I can stay connected as long as it's okay with you. I don't
fine
mind.
with me.
Okay.
I would prefer you call in early just so that we make sure there's no problems.
Okay. Let me I'm gonna try something we're trying something new
All right.
tonight. I'm gonna play an audio clip from my computer that's plugged into the Comrex. Let me know
All
if it
right.
comes out on your end.
All right.
And now we're joined by head coach Gary Gill. And Coach Gill, a new opponent this week coming in Mississippi, playing their first games as well here, just like Elmira did last week. What's
I'm getting it.
one thing that Blackbeard needs to do?
It sounds a little metallic almost, but I'm getting it.
First, and now we're joined by head coach. Okay. It was using the onboard microphone on my recorder, so that might have a little bit to do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you can hear it because we tried the last 2 times.
Yeah. I was here with Pam last time.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, let's see. How many? If you're looking at the chart by any chance, can you tell me how many before we get to the billboard? How many commercials do we have in the pregame segment?
Well, going into the game itself, there is 36 seconds of spots.
Okay.
And then there's a minute of spots in the pregame break 1.
All right.
And a minute of spots in pregame break 2.
Okay. Cool. All right, I'm still getting all the break timing down.
All right.
But I'll go ahead and give you a heads up. When we play the audio clip, when it ends, I end out with Fox 1430 in Binghamton, so I actually coming out of the audio file, I throw it to commercial.
All right.
It's only about a 60-second clip too.
All right. Okay.
They're minute 5. I'm looking at it right now. So I'm just looking over all of my stats very quickly. A lot of Eastern Europeans tonight. A lot of offs.
They've been winning by some big scores lately.
Yeah, they have. I think tonight will be a little bit of a better test. I was watching Mississippi practice beforehand early this morning, at 9, and from my tell of just practice, they looked like they're going to have more competition than Elmira had last week for them.
Right.
So I don't know if I told everybody, I was like, hey, I said, I hope you're not expecting 10-1 tonight, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, they should have better competition against the teams that have been around a bit longer.
Yeah, well, this is actually a brand new team as well.
Yeah.
They used to be an old, the Seawolves name actually used to be a part of a different organization in Mississippi, and then I guess this new ownership group came in and bought the rights to it, and they made a new logo and kept the same color scheme. I mean, they're red, white, and blue. They're pretty simple. So that's easy way to just get right back in the community. They had exhibition games there last year, and they had over 10,000. They had almost 10,000 people.
Damn, that's good that's really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have a nice, like, they have a big arena for it.
Right.
Down in Biloxi. So that is all good.
How's the internet service down there?
You know, it's got, like, I can load the website, but like the top scroll won't show up. So that's always, I would say, pressing. It's not the biggest deal because like I have the access device plugged into Ethernet, so everything's good on that end. And then you still have people from work like emailing you while the game's going on and be like, oh, like we need this, this, and this, and it's like, hey, I'm on air. Is there any way you can turn up the station volume on your end?
30 seconds.
All right.
Make sure to pick up your Chuck-a-Pucks on the main concourse. Chuck-a-Puck happens during the second intermission. Thanks to Excite Motorsports in Vestal for your chance to win a CF Moto ATV. Don't forget to get your 50-50 raffle tickets at the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club table on the main concourse. 50-50 tickets are sold through the first intermission. The winner will be selected during the second period. Good luck! If your Black Bears score 4 goals in tonight's game, everyone in attendance will receive a free cheeseburger, courtesy of our friends at Burger King. Can't make it to the game? Check out the Binghamton Black Bears YouTube channel to catch every game for free. Don't forget to grab a beer with Southern Tier Brew.
Hello and welcome in for another edition of Black Bears Hockey. You are listening to the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Triple Cities Family Dental is making your smile a priority. Schedule an appointment with them today by calling at 607-545-4148. We want to welcome you aboard the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show as we get set for week 2 of FPHL hockey as the Binghamton Black Bears sit atop of the standings along with the Prowlers with 6 points at 2-0 on the still very much young season. Let's go ahead and get right into the highlights from the previous game. Time for a Black Bears Rewind presented by the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club. If you're interested in joining the Booster Club, you can come out to the next home game for the Black Bears, which will be tomorrow night. It's also an early Halloween. You can visit the Booster Club. They're set up behind Section 4. It's only $10 to join the Booster Club. You get access to players, coaches, personal events, and more. Join the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club today. It was game 2 of 2 last weekend on the road inside First Arena, a regular season contest in Elmira, not too far down the road. The Binghamton Black Bears were able to go on the road and defeat the Elmira Mammoth by a final count of 6-3. The Black Bears used a 4-goal first period to propel themselves over Elmira as they got out to a 4-0 lead very early. Tyler Jurich, Nikita Ivashkin, Jesse Anderson, and Gavin Abbott all with first period tallies. 3 of the 4 coming at even strength. Anderson's goal coming on the power play. And a late period goal by Elmira would set up a 4-1 3-goal lead for the Black Bears going into the break. 19 minutes later into the second period, only 1 goal was scored that frame. It comes off of the stick of Austin Thompson and assisted from Gavin Yates. That was Yates' second assist of the night. Only 1 goal in the second frame. As we alluded to, Austin Thompson would bury in 19 minutes into the frame. We get to the third period, and that's where Elmira started to make their push. Elmira outscores Binghamton 2-1 in the final frame, and both of Elmira's goals in the final 20 minutes come short-handed. Joe Shepard was making his season debut for the Black Bears, and Shepard stood tall. 34 of 37 saves, played all 60 minutes of the ice time, whereas Elmira did go to their backup tender only 11 minutes into the contest. That was the recap to set a 2-0-0 start to the season for your Binghamton Black Bears. They sit atop of the standings along with the Prowlers at 6-0, and that is Black Bears Rewind, brought to you by our friends over at the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club. And now we had a chance to catch up with head coach Gary Gill inside the Tully's Good Time Coaches Corner. We want to make sure that you stop by Tully's for the next coaches show. It's on November 1st. Easy to remember. Day after Halloween, first day of November, located on the Vestal Parkway. Come by, meet some of the guys on the team, get some autographs, take some pictures, and enjoy a nice conversation with myself and head coach Gary Gill. But before tonight's game, inside the Tully's Coaches Corner, Gary Gill was able to give us a couple of moments of his time.
And now we're joined by head coach Gary Gill. And Coach Gill, a new opponent this week coming in, Mississippi, playing their first games as well here, just like Elmira did last week. What's going to be one thing that the Black Bears need to do early to set the tone?
I think first we need to protect our own end. We need to take it to them. We can't sit back and wait for them to come to us.
We have a peculiar kind of schedule. We had Elmira playing their first game as a franchise last week, and now we have Mississippi again this week. Is there anything that you expect Mississippi to come out and try to do to counter punch you guys coming in to throw the Black Bears off their game?
Well, they're a little bit faster. They have a lot more veteran players on that team, so we're going to match them stride for stride, and we'll throw the first right and the first step of that and see where we come out with.
All right, and that is head coach Gary Gill here inside the Tully's Coaches Corner. Join us for our next coaches show on November 1st, located at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway. You're listening to the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show here on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
Welcome back inside the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Triple Cities Family Dental, making your smile a priority. It's time to schedule an appointment by calling them at 607-545-4148 today. We got to talk down with head coach Gary Gill just a few moments ago inside the Coaches Corner. It's now time for the scratches and injury updates, brought to you by our friends over at the Court Gesture Athletic Club. Scratches and injuries for tonight for the Black Bears. It's a plethora of scratches tonight. That is the good news. Nobody banged up too bad quite yet. Only 2 games in. Scratch tonight, Eric Oganezov, Mike Haskins, Nikita Ivashkin with the night off, John Morasti, Ricky Regala, Brett Parker, and goaltender Brian Cantor are scratched out of the lineup tonight for your hometown Binghamton Black Bears. And that's a look at your scratches and injury update presented by the Port Gesture Athletic Hub, Binghamton's premier fitness facility. Taking a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Black Bears as we get set, a little bit of shuffling going on in the lineup tonight as expected with some new faces coming into town. Top line is looking as Jesse Anderson on the left wing, Gavin Yates in the center position, and Austin Thompson flanking on the right side. And on defense, Kyle Powell in his usual spot on the left side of the defensive pairing. And Jake Schultz, who was one of our guests in the Tully's Coaches Corner this week, is now slated to move over to the right side. Starting goaltender tonight will be Owen Liskowitz for the Black Bears. He is 1-0 on the year, only allowed 1 goal after all the shots that he faced on night 1. Liskowitz, 33 out of 34, stopping from going into the net. That's big number 72, Owen Liskowitz. That is tonight's starting lineup for your Binghamton Black Bears. Taking a look around the league in the FPHL, all the teams are in action tonight on the out-of-town scoreboard. We will be keeping an eye on these teams and games here tonight. Carolina taking on the Prowlers out in Port Huron. Columbus taking on Elmira not too far down the road. That game is slated to start at 7:30. Motor City is playing Watertown tonight at 7:30 as well. And Delaware is traveling not too far into Danbury for a game in Connecticut at 7:30. That's your look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We will take a quick timeout and come back with more on the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
Your safety is the only thing that matters. That's why you get live 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day, because every home deserves to be protected. Right now, get 40% off the whole home security system named the best of 2022 by U.S. News and World Report. Visit simplysafe.com/.
Hey, Michael, everything sound good on your end?
Sounding good so far.
Okay. We have people complaining again that the audio is hitting the fan, and it must be on YouTube. Thank you, and welcome back in to the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Triple Cities Family Dental, making your smile a priority. Schedule an appointment today by calling them at 607-545-4148 today. We've gone through last game and last time out. It was a 2-0 clean sweep of the weekend over the Elmira Mammoth for the Black Bears. We've gone over the starting lineup tonight, and we've already previewed the out-of-town scoreboard. Let's talk about some of the acquisitions that the Black Bears made this week. 3 new faces drawing into the lineup, or I should say 3 familiar faces and 1 brand new face to Black Bear fans. Let's take a look at the roster tonight. It'll be Mac Lewis coming from SUNY Oswego, who will be centering one of the lines tonight. In fact, it'll be the second line because Tyler Dirks is moving down to the second line and playing on the left-hand side. And that's Mac Lewis, a Canadian from Ontario, making his way down to Binghamton, and he will be playing with former Black Bear returning and former Lake
teammate at SUNY Oswego, number 17, Tyson Kirkby. Kirkby kind of caught lightning in a pan last time out, only played in the tail end of the season, scored the game-winning goal in Game 1 of the playoffs in the Commissioner's Cup against Danbury. That would be a 5-4 victory for the Black Bears. A lot of fans are familiar with Kirkby as he's been hanging around the area, playing for Oswego, not too far down the road, about a 2-hour drive from Binghamton. And then it's also a familiar face returning from last year and returned on loan from the SPHL, Mathieu Boilard, donning a new number this season for Black Bear fans. He will be wearing 28 instead of 43. So Boilard, Kirkby, and Lewis, new names coming back into the lineup. Also worth mentioning, Gavin Abbott will be making his home debut. He only played on the road in Elmira last week. Getting ready to have the teams come out. Mississippi has already made their way out onto the ice. They were first on the ice for warm-ups, and they are first on the bench, ready to go. The Black Bears are finishing up a pregame talk from head coach Gary Gill. As the lights have dimmed down, the spotlights are on inside Visions Veterans Memorial Arena as we get set for opening faceoff. We're scheduled for 60 minutes and maybe even then some more of competitive FPHL hockey tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show at Triple Cities Family Dental. They make your smile a priority. When we come back, we'll have tonight's opening faceoff, Black Bears and Seawolves, next on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton.
Fox Sports 1430 is brought to you in part by American Standard Heating and Air, Atlas James Construction, the Black Bears Booster Club, Budweiser, Broom OPWDD, Columbia Mutual Life Insurance Company, Dorchester Athletic Club, CryoWorks, Excite Motorsports, Airways Indoor Golf, Jeff B's Auto Service, Jimmy John's, Homer Mag Boy Store, Ideal Bowling Center, the Hilton Inn and Suites, Learning Lab, Lost and Chase Center, Northeastern Striping Corporation, New York 529, Mercedes Benz, Southern Tier Group, Thompson and Johnson, Toyota, Triple Cities Family Dental, and by Tunnels. Now, back to the arena and the voice of the Binghamton Black Bears, Brooks Thick, Fox Sports 1430 WWNN.
Welcome in for another edition of Black Bears hockey here inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Home game number 2 for the Black Bears this year, game number 3. As the lights turn on, they put 20 up on the scoreboard. They welcome in another new team to the FPHL tonight as the Mississippi Seawolves have made their way onto the ice. Seawolves outfitted tonight in the white jerseys with red and blue trim, and Binghamton in the alternate greens once again. As the All Saints Choir gets ready to sing the national anthem, we get squared off for 20 minutes of competitive hockey. The All Saints Choir doing their rendition of the national anthem here tonight as we get ready to go for the first game ever in Mississippi Seawolves history for the FPHL, game number 3 for Binghamton this season. And it'll be important for Mississippi to throw the first punch. As Coach Gary Gill alluded to, he is expecting it. A heavy early surge from the visiting Seawolves as we get set here to go. Binghamton outfitted in green tonight here at home, and Mississippi dressed in white with red bottoms. Opening face-off will be Chris Levier against Andre Vasulik as we get ready to go. The ice crew makes their way off of the ice, and it's the BAE Systems opening face-off as the referee gets ready to drop the puck. And away we go. Face-off controlled by Binghamton right off the start as D'Angelo whips it around the boards, and a heavy forecheck coming. A double team from Vasulik, and Abbott comes up empty-handed, and instead it will be Mississippi carrying it away in form of Levier. Carrying now into the zone across the blue line is Chris Hunt, who sidesteps a hit from Cam Yardwood, but Binghamton will collect the loose change momentarily and come up from behind. A couple of hits both sides so far, but Binghamton will take away the puck behind their own net, and Jake Schultz will start the breakout. Binghamton spent a lot of time on breakouts earlier this week, in a leveling hit right at center ice from Chris Levier on Gavin Abbott. Abbott gets up quickly and skates over to the bench as Binghamton will clear the puck out of their zone. Mississippi coming up heavy hitting so far in the first minute of the game. Turnover at the blue line, and a blocker save from Liskowitz as a shot's put right on from Lucas Helen. And it looks like one of the Black Bears is shaken up as that puck caught one of the Black Bear defenders. Gavin Yates is favoring his hip as he took a puck on a wrist shot from Helen, trying to make his way over to the bench. Yates does. As takeaway check now. Excuse me, that's Yates who was staying on. It was Jurich who got off momentarily. Puck chipped away as Pekarski will fight for it into the corner. Another turnover as Mississippi has the first shot of the game. Shot on, and a kick save from Liskowitz. Turns it aside. Puck still ends up behind the net, and Mississippi in control. Joe Pace now with it as Mississippi will start a cycle. They go at the point. Wrist shot put on high above the net. No harm for Owen Liskowitz in between the pipes tonight. Looking for our first whistle just under 2 minutes into the contest here as we play catch all the way around the horn and in the umbrella. A wrist shot put on, and it looks like Binghamton's top line will make quick possession of it as Yates will chip it away, and here go off for a change. Set down by goaltender Blake Wayrick, making a professional debut at 26 years old. Not playing too far away in his college days for the Griffins. A lot of people in this area familiar with the Griffins of Canisius, as Schultz will now take the puck as Binghamton now will try to turn defense into offense. Heavy shot missing all the target, and a misfire at the blue line from Tyler Jurich, who is holding the spot as Mississippi takes over. Here comes Chris Levier again. Here dump it all the way around. Kyle Powell for the Black Bears is first to it, and her back one out to the returning Tyson Kirkby, who gets a little bit of an applause as he touches the puck for the first time tonight. Binghamton will wrap it all the way around the board as Jake Schultz wrists one in front, and it's deflected by Mac Lewis, and a big hit from Lewis sends a Seawolf down to the ground as Brandon Baker takes a seat on the ice. Good keep by Kyle Powell momentarily, but out comes the Seawolves. Seawolves now 3-on-2 if they hurry. Have a man in all alone, but it rolls off of the stick of number 27, Chris Hunt, and the Black Bears will double team Hunt in the corner, but Mississippi will stay in control of the puck. Saucer pass comes up empty-handed for Ethan Bush Anderson. Gotta love a good old-fashioned double last name. Bush Anderson staying out there. He's trying to stay with the puck. D-to-D passing as Liskowitz turns an easy wrist shot into the corner. Kyle Powell thought about giving it up to Jurich, but instead keeps the puck behind his net, takes a sigh of relief, and Binghamton and Mississippi both will roll a change. 6:25 left to go here in period one. Shots are 1 for the Seawolves and none for the Black Bears so far in the contest. Stretch pass ahead to Vasulik, but Vasulik is offsides as the linesman comes right in. And it'll be a neutral zone faceoff coming up in just a mere moment. Let's talk about tonight's not pregame goaltending matchup brought to you by our friends over at Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company, elevating your expectations. Blake Wayrick, the 26-year-old, standing at 6'3", 190 in the pipes for Mississippi, and opposite him, it's Owen Liskowitz playing in game number 2. 1-0 on the year, only 1 goal allowed, 33 saves after 34 shots faced in game number 1. That's your goaltending matchup brought to you by our friends over at the Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company, elevating your expectations. Wrist shot put on is deflected and off of the glove of the goaltender for Mississippi. Wayrick getting credited with his first save of the season and in franchise history for the Seawolves. D-to-D passing now as Boilar throws a wrist shot, and Wayrick didn't see that one as it gets deflected wide of the net. Yarwood now choking down from his defensive position, carrying the puck behind the net, looking for a friend to pass to. Here try to start a cycle for Binghamton. Vasulik loses control of the puck in the slot, and Trevor Finch will carry away for Mississippi. Gavin Abbott calling for some players to help him hop around, and instead it's a 2-on-2 even man situation, and a high wrist shot blocker down by Liskowitz in the corner, and in fact that member of the Seawolves loses his stick. Yaroslav Yadokimov lost his stick on the shot and saved by Liskowitz. Now Gavin Yates looking for a friend to pass to. He circles all the way around the net, but it's poked away by Michael Clintworth, and Yates will collect the loose change himself. Gory behind the net and start the breakout once again. Over 5 minutes gone here, and the teams have gone back and forth so far, trading opportunities in the neutral zone. Shots are 3-1 Seawolves over the Black Bears here in Seawolves game number 1 and Black Bears game number 3. Much different pace that we've seen against Elmira last weekend for the Black Bears, and we will see which team will strike first. Carrying behind the net is Brandon Baker, looking for an opening in the Black Bears defense, and a good poke check out at the blue line by Jesse Anderson allows Binghamton to take control of the puck, and hometown guy MJ Merkel will dump it out of the zone. That'll allow Binghamton to catch their breath momentarily. No quarter given at the offensive blue line for Mississippi, as Binghamton is still looking for some clean entries into the offensive zone. Merkel trying to go for a stretch pass, and the linesman will say that is tipped, no icing. And Vinny Susi will start a breakout for Mississippi. Good stretch pass just off of the stick, though, for Chris Hunt. A little bit too hot to handle as the puck ends up in the slot. Binghamton will take over, and Mac Lewis gives it up for Tyler Jurich. Jurich getting on the score sheet in Game 2 against Elmira. Got goal number 1 on the road for the Black Bears this season. Self-pass now across the board for Chris Levier. Ends up with the puck after a sloppy turnover for Binghamton. Wrist shot put on and a block right out in front by Kyle Pavel, who appears to be shaken up momentarily. Puck still behind the net in possession of the Seawolves. Carrying it behind is Chris Levier. Levier looking for a friend to pass to. Wrist shot put on and turned aside by Liskowitz. Second attempt is turned away. Liskowitz standing tall here in the first 7 minutes of the contest as Tyler Jurich now comes out. Binghamton was trying to catch Mississippi in a line change as the wrist shot from Jurich is high. Poillard keeps it in the zone as the puck gets deflected up into the low slot, and Vasulik down low gets it taken away by Clintworth. Clintworth now looking for a man, and a big hit right in front of the Mississippi bench, and that will be where we get to take our first timeout of the contest. 12:42 left to go here in the first period. 0-0 shots, 3 for Mississippi, 1 for Binghamton. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 on iHeartRadio.
welcome back in. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. And offsides momentarily for Binghamton. Send us the TV timeout. And the Black Bears will win the neutral zone faceoff, but they carry it all the way behind their net. That puck rimmed around the boards off of the stick of Gino D'Angelo. A little bit too hot to handle for Mathieu Boilard, French-Canadian from Quebec, one of the fan favorites, a physical defenseman, and the Black Bears are really glad to have him back in the building here tonight. Good keep at the blue line for Joe Pace of Mississippi. That allows Mississippi to roll a partial change while they keep control of the puck down below the goal line. Pace, slap shot, deflected on, caught something on the way through, and Liskowitz turns aside with a high blocker save. Puck still available in the slot, but Gavin Abbott, one of the hometown Binghamton kids for the Black Bears club, will dump it down low, and they're going to say icing that Gavin Abbott did not make the the red line. And that faceoff will come all the way back in the Binghamton zone. 0-0 through the first 8 minutes and change. Shots favoring the visitors from Mississippi. Coach Esposito leading the Seawolves. Got to be happy with the way that things have looked so far, as a wrist shot almost made its way through. Liskowitz never saw it until it got down towards the goal line. And it looks like the Black Bears have escaped harm for the time being. Puck enters the Mississippi zone temporarily, but the Black Bears will throw it all the way down the ice. Linesman with his arm up in the air. This is icing. Both teams guilty of it, one time each. Ideal Bowling Center is where Binghamton hockey fans bowl, with bowling all week. It's a great place for the family, friends, company, parties, and special occasions. Ideal Bowling Center, 119 Jennings Street, Endicott. So much more than just your favorite bowling alley.
Mississippi winning the defensive zone faceoff. And a wrist shot put on and blocked on the way through by MJ Merkel, who goes down to the ice, makes his way directly towards the bench. We'll see if MJ can continue on in this contest. A second block shot in the defensive slot for Binghamton as the first period continues to roll along. Puck will roll in on the stick of Blake Wayrick, and he will cover up and freeze. Offensive zone faceoff coming up for Binghamton as both teams will roll a change. Face-off won by Mississippi, but Jurich will keep it in at the blue line, and a hammering shot from 22 in green puts it on goal, and Raywick has to direct it into the open corner. Centering pass out in front, and Raywick with his best save of the contest so far. Raywick had to be ready as Kirby was out in front, and with a quick deflection could have broke the ice and made this game 1-0 in favor of the home squad. Seawolves now with the opportunity to set up a breakout. Binghamton going with a 1-2-2 setup so far as the puck ends up on the stick of Dennis Hocherenko. Horencho. Now we'll dump it in across. Tyler Jurich throws it across the corner. And Jake Schultz will go D-to-D with his defensive partner, Kyle Powell. And Binghamton will cross the line offsides once again as Tyler Jurich is a little too fast entering into the zone. Linesman will move that one all the way back to the neutral zone, right at the Binghamton blue line, as Vasulik will come back out centering the second line. Tonight, Josh Newberg, the extra forward in the lineup. We've seen 14 in green, just a sparse amount so far. We're over the halfway point in period one, still searching for the game's first goal. Chipped ahead by Vasulik as Gavin Abbott will come in. Ends up with the puck behind the net as Vasulik, who had 2 goals in night number 1, has drawn a penalty. Black Bears will be going to the power play as Mississippi touches up And we will have a Binghamton Black Bears power play coming up when we come back. Still searching for the game's first goal. Binghamton on the power play when we come back. 9:37 left to go. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and on iHeartRadio.
Michael, everything still good on your end?
Still good.
Okay. All right. I don't know how.
It sounds fine on the iHeart app, so.
Okay. All right. I don't know how we have audio on YouTube that doesn't sound good, and then on iHeart it sounds fine. It's coming out of the same machine.
Who knows?
Welcome back in. 9:37 left to go here in period number 1. It'll be the Black Bears getting the first power play as Joe Pace takes a hook with 9:37 left to go. Black Bears operating at 33% so far on the power play. They are 5 of 15. They had a ton of power play minutes last week against Elmira. So far, the story has not been the same. 0-0 contest, face-off won by Binghamton as Kyle Powell throws a wrist shot on. Puck is still loose in the slot. They're going to hack and whack at it. It's in the blue paint and covered up by Blake Wayrick. Puck right on the goal line as Binghamton creates an early offensive chance in the first 10 seconds of the power play. Are you a college student? If so, you can purchase $10 tickets to all Black Bear games on Saturday nights and receive a free gift courtesy of our friends over at Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is located on the Vestal Parkway close by Binghamton University. They even offer freaky fast delivery. Offensive zone keep by Binghamton. Mississippi was pleading to the officials that puck escaped the blue line. No contest here as Binghamton will continue with the puck. Kyle Powell and Tyler Jurich almost running into each other, but now Powell at the top of the umbrella, calling for the puck, loads the cannon and fires a snapshot that's blocked on the way through by Justin Bard. Bard getting his body out in front of that shot as Tyler Jurich now setting up with the puck. Here trade places with Kyle Powell, trying to create some misdirection for the Black Bear offense. Jurich, snapshot high in the net as Kyle Powell will go FIFA style. Foot to blade of the stick. And Binghamton continuing to keep pressure in the zone, but right in between Powell and Jurich as the puck will come out. Binghamton will run a partial change. They find Tyson Kirby camped out at the blue line. He'll drop it off for Yates. Yates trying to drag around his man. Instead, Kirby will have to pick up the loose change. Another close play at the blue line. Yarwood now, as the second power play unit starts to make their way out onto the ice. Yarwood now towing the line, giving it up for Austin Thompson. Austin Thompson, first star in game number 1 for the Black Bears, as Tyson Kirby goes down to his knees, keeping the blue line once again. Good offensive zone time for Binghamton. They don't have a lot of shots to show for it after the early chance 10 seconds in. Yates now carrying around, looking for a friend to pass to. Instead, tries to go to the upper 90 in the small corner, but goes off the outside of the net. Kirby will go off for Gavin Abbott in a fresh set of legs as Yarwood comes down from his defensive spot. Yarwood throws a wrist shot and glove save by Blake Wayrick with 2 seconds left to go in the power play. Another shot on goal for Binghamton, but it appears that they will come up empty-handed on their first go-round on the power play. Will win the face-off and throw it into the corner. Levier will try to dance around a Black Bear, but instead it'll end up on the stick of his teammate Ethan Bush Anderson. Bush Anderson glides the puck down, trying to find a camped-out Seawolf at the blue line. That was Chris Hunter, and Binghamton will take over. Abbott, with a load of speed, sidesteps his defender as the teams are trading chances here early in often. Binghamton with a lot of high-danger chances on that last power play as Mississippi will ice the puck. They'll bring it back 200 feet, and the Black Bears will set up an offensive zone face-off to the left of the Mississippi goaltender. Gives us a chance to catch our breath. Mississippi once again playing in their first game back as a franchise. The Seawolves were around in the early 2000s and even the 2010s. Hockey in Mississippi is no stranger. They will have a home game next weekend. We want to wish them the best of luck, all the ownership group, the coaches, players. Setting up for an opening or a home opener is no joke, and we know our friends over at Mississippi and Nick, the Mississippi broadcaster, will have a fantastic time just like we did. Neutral zone faceoff is lost by Yates, won by Daniel McKittrick. But Binghamton will come away very quickly. Jesse Anderson trying to fumble with the puck in his skates. Instead, they have to fling it all the way around the boards. Gavin Yates trying to find a man in the high slot. Kicked into the corner as Austin Thompson will kick the puck below the goal line. And it appears that Mississippi will escape harm for the time being. Out comes McKittrick. Throwing the puck in, and a centering pass is turned away by Tyler Pekarski out in front. Loose puck is available and shot put just wide of the net by Matt Caranchi. Caranchi misfiring just a little bit on that puck as second chance opportunities are coming alive here as Yadokomov flings one onto Owen Liskowitz as he will have to freeze. 6:19 left to go in period number 1. Are you interested in providing care to people with disabilities? Check out a New York State career with Broom OPWDD. Job security, health and search, retirement plans, paid time off, and so much more. Positions as direct support professionals in the community might be exactly the change of pace that you're looking for. For more information, call 607-240-4786 or go online to opwdd.ny.gov and click Apply Now. And a cross-checking call will go against Jake Schultz, meaning it'll be the first opportunity for the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. Black Bears penalty kill all season long are brought to you by our friends over at Northeastern Striping Corporation. Northeastern is a full-service specialty contracting company specializing in paving and concrete. Black Bears operating at 90% so far on the penalty kill this season. Or see if they can keep it here at 0-0 with 6:08 left to go in the frame. Seawolves playing catch as the puck ends up down low. Turnaround shot is saved by Liskowitz. As the Seawolves will lose control of the puck temporarily as Tyson Kirby had his head up trying to find an outstretched Gino D'Angelo camping out at the blue line, but instead Mississippi takes back over. Denis Hocharenko, my bad, dumps the puck in as Mississippi loses control of the puck, but instead it's in offsides. Good defense by Binghamton to force the extra whistle. 1:16 left to go in the penalty. Black Bears were unsuccessful on their power play, and we'll see if Mississippi will hold the same result. Binghamton switching things up during the whistle. Mississippi keeping things the same. Bordereau playing catch at the blue line, throws a wrist shot and deflected into the netting harmlessly with 61 seconds left to go in the penalty. Newberg and Abbott come back out on the ice for the penalty kill. Abbott, one of the best penalty killers on the team, I've been told. Saw him on the road, killing penalties in Elmira inside First Arena on Saturday night. Haven't seen him out at home yet this year, but Abbott, right on cue, will take the puck and dump it all the way down as Wayrick will come out of his net and set the puck up on a tee for Vinny Susi, where Mississippi will start the breakout. McKittrick will carry into the zone, and it'll escape Caleb Bordereau as precious seconds will tick away on the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. Good defense once again at the line by Newberg and Abbott, holding up Mississippi temporary. Puck ends up down low and in the slot off of the stick as MJ Merkel tries to chip it away, tries to soccer style it out of the defensive side. It stays in between the goal line and blue line, but a good second effort by Gavin Abbott. Will shoot the puck down, 5 seconds and 4, and the Black Bears have officially killed off the first penalty to their side. Teams are respectively 0 for 1 on the power play. Just over 4 minutes left to go in period number 1. Shots are 6-4 in favor of the Seawolves. Here 16 minutes in. Here comes Kirkby as he will try to float it up for his college teammate. SUNY Oswego Lakers, Lewis and Kirkby reuniting here tonight at Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Centering pass, but no one's home inside the slot, and it's carried away by Justin Barr. Trevor Finch crossing the zone, but offsides. That'll take us to our final media timeout of the first period. 3:40 to go as the game is still searching for its first goal. 0-0, you're listening to Black Bear Hockey here on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and on the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back in.
3:40 left to go here as we get set to drop the puck. It was an offsides on the carry in by Trevor Finch. A couple of the Seawolves got a little bit too much of a head start coming out of pit road. And we are away once again. Carried in off the offensive zone. Face-off by Levier as Levier throws it on, and it's covered up by Liskowitz. 4 seconds into the puck drop in a neutral zone face-off. Mississippi goes forward right away, and a good wrist shot put on by Levier has to be turned aside by Liskowitz. Liskowitz now with 7 saves. Puck available in the slot momentarily as Gavin Yates will carry it out on his backhand. Getting pestered just a little bit by Trevor Finch as Yates carries it now on his backhand, looking for a friend to pass to. Gives it to Pekarski at the point. Wrist shot is blocked on the way through by Hunt. Levier getting control of the puck, but he'll turn it over for Yates as the game's still searching for the first goal. And Thompson got his pocket picked, set up in the slot, calling for the one-timer. Great defensive play by Mississippi as the puck is sent high by Anderson. Good keep, though, from Yarwood. At the point, a misdirected shot puts the puck in the corner, and an offensive zone penalty is going against the Black Bears with 2:53 left to go in the first period. We're headed right back to the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. All penalty kills this season brought to you by Northeastern Striping Corporation, a full-service specialty contracting company specializing in paving and concrete. Second penalty of the game taken by the Black Bears as Austin Thompson is going to get called for the hold with 2:53 left to go in the first frame. Thompson with 3 goals and 2 assists so far, 5 points. That's second on the team, only behind Gavin Yates so far on the season. He'll have to sit down for what he hopes will be 2 minutes. Mississippi 0 for 1 on the power play tonight as the faceoff won momentarily by Levier, but Binghamton will do a good job of getting to the loose puck as Yarwood will dip it down the ice. And Binghamton can get set up in the 1-3 penalty kill. They have D'Angelo as the high forward applying the forecheck, and the other 3 defenders camped out at the blue line. They say everybody's on sides as Schultz will hammer down his opposer into the corner. Mississippi taking control of the puck as both teams will battle for it behind Liskowitz's net. Finds up on the stick of Vinny Susi. Susi directing out to Levier, and a good toe drag by Levier. Breaking in, backhand pass, shot on, and a goal. Power play goal for the Mississippi Seawolves. It's Vinny Susi who breaks the ice with 2:10 left to go. Vinny Susi on the pass from Chris Levier. And the silent wrist shot with 2:10 left to go. 17:50 had passed before the game's first goal. As you get a look at the Heinz Energy replay, wrist shot, top left corner. Liskowitz might have been screened by his own man, but it's 1-0 with 2 minutes left to go. Levier assisting the goal as the puck rolls off of the stick. That could have been 2-0. Black Bears got to watch out. They might have been taking another penalty just after Mississippi converts on their second extra man advantage in the frame. They are now 1 for 2, and where it matters the most, they have a 1-0 lead. Puck will get shot down the ice. They say it was tipped on the way through. 90 seconds remaining, 1-0 Mississippi. MJ Merkel can't dump the puck out of the zone, ends up on the stick of Finch momentarily. Wrist shot put on, and Liskowitz has to make a good comebacking save as he kicks out the left leg. Seawolves are pestering the Black Bears in the offensive zone this period. We'll see what adjustments Coach Gill and Coach Reynolds will have after the first break. 2-on-1 opportunity. Here comes Jurich in alone, off the post. Jurich beat the goaltender, but he couldn't beat the crossbar as he will throw one that's blockered away by Wayrick. Mississippi takes over with 40 seconds left to go. Make sure you stick around for the Excite Motorsports intermission report. We will recap the first period, go through the stats, all that and more on the Excite Motorsports first intermission report. 20 seconds left to go as Binghamton will try to make a final charge into the offensive zone. Gavin Yates does a good job splitting the defenseman, carrying it coast to coast, looking for a centering pass and a friend to pass to. 12 seconds left. Number 12 will give it up for Schultz, who throws a wrist shot that's blocked into the corner by Brandon Baker. And the referee, with his hand up in the air, will signal for a cross check with 6.2 remaining in the first period. Penalties are now 2 aside as Joe Pace takes the second penalty of the game, his second of the game as well. A hook earlier in the frame and a cross-checking penalty with 6 seconds left to go. Taking a look at the Heinz Energy replay, and that one's about as clear as day. All the officials in the stands dressed in green and black thought so as well, as the puck is dipped all the way down to the other end, and Binghamton will carry 1:54 of power play time into the locker room as we get set for the Excite Motorsports intermission report. After 1 period of play, for the first time this season, Binghamton finds themselves down by a goal as Mississippi leads the Black Bears 1-0. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, hockey fans. A beautiful smile leads to a great life. Make your smile a priority today by booking an appointment with Triple Cities Family Dental. Located just blocks from the Black Bears Arena, Triple Cities Family Dental has provided families with comprehensive and quality dental care for over 70 years. Let them take care of you and give you one more reason to smile. Make an appointment today by visiting TripleCitiesFamilyDental.com or by calling 607-723-8377 to book an appointment. Make the most of your smile and call Triple Cities Family Dental today. Your teeth will thank you. Hey, hockey fans. A beautiful smile leads to a great life. Make your smile a priority today by booking an appointment with Triple Cities Family Dental. Located just blocks from the Black Bears Arena, Triple Cities Family Dental has provided families with comprehensive and quality dental care for over 70 years. Let them take care of you and give you one more reason to smile. Make an appointment today by visiting TripleCitiesFamilyDental.com or by calling 607-723-8377 to book an appointment. Make the most of your smile and call Triple Cities Family Dental today. Your teeth will thank you. Black Bear fans, this Bud's for you. Each and every day, Budweiser works hard towards the high bar that they set for themselves, earning their position as the king of beers. They are sponsoring the 3 stars of all the Black Bears games all season long. Enjoy an ice-cold Budweiser on the concourse inside the arena or visit your local vendor today. Budweiser, the king of beers and proudly brewed right here in the United States since 1864.
The leaves are falling.
Welcome back into the Jeff Kai's Auto Sales broadcast booth. Brooks Hill calling the action solo for you tonight as the Black Bears find themselves down by a goal after the first period of play. It will be interesting to see how Binghamton responds a little later on in the contest, as there's still plenty of hockey left to go, but the real first set of adversary for Binghamton to be faced here as we go along. 1-0 is the score. That's where it matters the most. Taking a look now at the stat sheet brought to you by our friends over at Columbian Mutual Life Insurance Company, protecting families for over 140 years. Shots on goal are in favor of the visitors, 9-4. Binghamton's 4 shots on goal, however, have been high danger shots. They just don't have as many as Mississippi, where one has found its way past Owen Liskowitz. 9-4 is where the shots on goal are, and the shots on goal powered here in the arena by our friends over at SUNY Broome, the engineering school, bringing technology to life inside the arena. I want to thank our friends over at SUNY Broome for helping us out there, as the fans are taking a slap shot on goal here during the first intermission. We are getting set for more hockey. 1-0 is where the score is. Mississippi on top. Blake Wayrick, 4 shots faced and 4 saves so far, and Owen Liskowitz has faced 9 shots and he saved 8. It was a wrist shot scored by Vinny Susi, the first goal of the season for the Seawolves. Comes on the road inside of Visions Veterans Memorial Arena. Take this opportunity to talk to you about the next home game for the Black Bears. It'll be tomorrow night. It's a premature Halloween celebration. Come in a costume, brought to you by our friends over at Party City and Slaughterland. Costume contest open for people of all ages. There will be pregame trick-or-treating for the kids on the concourse. Gates will open at 5:30. That's a half-hour extra of pregame festivities, and there will be a post-game skate on the ice immediately following tomorrow's contest. So come out tomorrow. It'll be the same matchup, Seawolves and Black Bears, as we get set for a premature Halloween celebration. We will send it to commercial and more on the other side of the Excite Motorsports Intermission Report after this. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. once again to Black Bears hockey here on Fox 1430 in Binghamton on the iHeart Radio app, wherever you may be, or listening in on YouTube back at home. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Here tonight we have an update for you in the Thunderbirds and Prowlers game. It's 1-0 Carolina after the first period out in Michigan. And in Connecticut, it's the Hat Tricks leading the Delaware Thunder 1-0 as well. That game started at 7:30, and no score yet in the Elmira and Columbus game taking place not too far down the road, and zeros on the board for the Rockers versus Wolves match up in Watertown, just a few hours north of us here in Binghamton. That's your look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Binghamton will be visiting Danbury and the Hat Tricks next week on the road. Both of those games will be broadcasted on the iHeart Radio app and on Fox 1430 locally in Binghamton. The Hat Tricks and the Black Bears faced off last year in the first round of the Commissioner Cup playoffs. Maybe a little bit of bad blood still, as the teams still have a lot of returning players, and they say in hockey that playoffs brew rivalry. All of those games go down to the wire last year, and it's the Hat Tricks getting the better edge of the Black Bears in the Black Bears' first season, and Binghamton will be looking to take some revenge on our friends out in Connecticut. That's next week, but first we gotta worry about the game that is at hand. It's 1-0 Mississippi as the Zambonis are making their way out on the ice. Our friends of Tiocaga Downs Casino and Resort, and our new sponsor of a Zamboni, our friends over at Toyota. They also sponsor the RAV fourth period. Should any game this year go to overtime, it'll be brought to you by our friends over at Toyota. And boy, does that new Zamboni look mighty fine. About halfway through the intermission, as we look through, Binghamton will be on the power play when they come back out onto the ice. They have a minute 54 of extra man time. It was a cross check by Joe Pace, sending Binghamton to the power play in the final seconds of the first period. Pace also took a hooking call earlier in the frame. Austin Thompson taking a penalty for Binghamton, as they would allow Mississippi to score on the man advantage. The Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill is 1 for 2 on the night, 50%. That'll draw their 90% penalty kill rating down a little bit, but plenty of time for it to go back up. We took a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Let's also talk about how the new guys are doing. Mac Lewis, Tyson Kirkby, and Mathieu Boilard are three new faces playing their first games of the season tonight here inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. We've seen a lot of Kirkby trying to throw the puck on net, and a lot of his shots have not made its way through to see the goaltender Blake Wayrick. Mac Lewis has done his fair share of winning faceoffs and leveling hits and players in Mississippi colors down on the offensive end. Mac Lewis throwing the body around, also was captain of the SUNY Oswego Lakers and line mates with Tyson Kirkby. And Kirkby playing in the final 24 regular season games last year, just a little bit under half of the regular season contest for Binghamton as the Zambonis make their way off of the ice. And Mathieu Boilard, a heavy-hitting defenseman who really stays at home, plays a sound fundamental game. We saw one puck get away from him a little bit in the first period, but game speed is a lot different than practice speed as you go through the ranks of any sport at any level. Standings are currently as follow. The Prowlers and Black Bears are tied at the top with 6 points, as there's only been 4 teams that have played a game coming into tonight in the FPHL. Motor City holds the third place spot solo right now with 3 points. They won the final game on Sunday against the Prowlers, and it was a 1-2 weekend for Motor City to kick off their season. We're happy that Motor City off the ground and running, finally being able to play. Some notable non-players tonight for Binghamton who played at home last Friday night: John Morasti, Ricky Regala, Brett Parker, Nikita Ivashkin are all four scratched for tonight, not playing. We'll see if that holds true for Coach Gary Gill and Tom Reynolds as the weekend goes on. As we got a message from Gary Gill earlier in the week. Didn't have it on record, so I have to paraphrase what he said, but Coach Gill was talking about what happens when you go into the locker room. How much time does the coach actually spend talking? How much is it quiet? What are the players saying? What's going on? He says immediately him and Tom go into the back and they have a private conversation about what they're seeing. If they can have any tape, they look at the tape real quick, make adjustments, and the players are normally talking amongst themselves about, hey, we ought to do this, or hey, good job on that. Just, typical locker room talk. And he said really about the final 4 minutes of the intermission, the coaches will come back in, address the team, and they get set to go. The coaches will walk their way across the ice into the benches, and then they will turn it over to the players and the captains to make sure everybody is ready to go. We're getting you teed up for the second period. It'll be a long change for both sides. Binghamton's on the power play when they drop the puck once again. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back more on the Excite Motorsports Intermission Report here on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Grab a beer with Southern Tier Brew, available on the concourse at all Black Bear games and at our store near you. Southern Tier Brewing Company is an industry leader and one of the top craft beer producers in the United States. Their franchise stores are now available in more than 30 states and beyond, continuing to deliver consistent and quality beers while innovating to bring new cold flavors to the country. Call your local Pittsburgh beer from Southern Tier Brewing. Stay in the swing of things with your golf game this winter and check out Fairways Indoor Golf Company. Fairways, you can play game-free and live in their golf field. Enjoy your favorite cocktail in the lounge by the fire or watch your favorite sports team over their convenient TVs. Home slice in experience will be from the homemade pizza and clubhouse kitchen. Bring your home clubs or use theirs. Get the golf in your life a Fairways gift certificate. Tee off with Fairways.com, 511 Pearl Inlet, online at fairwaysindoor.com. The owner of Indoor Fuel, family and business providing serving equipment to the United States since 1951. Located in Greenville North of Route 91, beautiful village of Homer. Central Road, Worcester. If you visit to the Greenville House for discounted prices at Quantum, Denver, Carolina, Viva, Columbia, North Face, Timberlake, and many more. All sizes. Free up for your project. You can request an order. You don't need it. You need it. The home of Indoor Fuel. Working with great management and leader in the area. Get your car and golf fans to help you put deals on the road. Any home is very good.
Welcome back in. It's the Excite Motorsports Intermission Report. We want to thank our friends over at Excite Motorsports. Browse, ride, and buy free next day delivery to New York and Pennsylvania. Visit them online at excitemotorsports.com. Getting ready to start the second period. We'll have another quick pause before the teams get back out here on the side, and we have a good one in store. I can feel the rest of the way. It's 1-0 Mississippi, but Binghamton has a minute 54 of extra man advantage time to start the frame. It is a cross check to Joe Pace, number 13, dressed in white tonight. who was guilty of a cross-check and earlier guilty of a hooking call as well. That puts Binghamton on the man advantage. Taking a quick look at the totals of the year so far through 2 games. Gavin Yates leads the team with 6 points, 2 goals and 4 assists. 2 Black Bears are tied at the top in goals, Austin Thompson and Jesse Anderson, and both having a high danger chance earlier in this game. Thompson and Anderson both with 3 as the linesmen make their way back out onto the ice. We'll see what Binghamton has in store for Mississippi as they get ready for the middle frame. It'll be the long change, and coming on a power play on a long change can be beneficial for Binghamton. It'll be extra long for the defenders of Mississippi to get off of the ice, making their way to the door to execute a line change. That'll do it for the Excite Motorsports first period intermission show. Excite Motorsports, browse, ride, and buy. Free next day delivery to New York and Pennsylvania. Visit them online at excitemotorsports.com. Second period next on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back in as we are underway of the second period. The opening face-off brought to you by our friends over at Lofts at JC. Lofts at JC are the official housing partners of the Binghamton Black Bears, offering luxury housing with no compromises. The complex has beautiful 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units as Gavin Yates tries to get on the board and tie this game up quickly. Visit them today and fill out an application at loftsatjc.com. Puck is loose and Vasulik trying to collect the loose change. It falls into the corner, and Mississippi will ice it all the way down behind Owen Liskowitz, who sets it up on a tee for Cam Yarwood. Black Bears are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight, trying to avoid going 0 for 2. Mississippi was able to connect on their second power play as Yates, with a power move, gets to his forehand, but just missing the upper corner of the net. Won't count as a shot on goal as the puck is batted out of midair by Mississippi's Jake Raleigh. Haven't heard too much of Raleigh's name here tonight, and getting some key penalty minute times as a backhand pass from Yarwood is too soft. A sloppy turnover for Binghamton forces them to retreat and start again. Mac Lewis gives it up for former SUNY Oswego teammate Tyson Kirkby as the Black Bears will try to fight for it. Powell wrist one onto the net, swallowed up by the goaltender Wayrick, and we will pause there with 22 seconds left of extra man time. Jurich now throwing D to D with Kyle Powell. Powell and Jurich, first ones in the building today as Jurich throws a wrist shot and swallowed up with no problem by Wayrick. Binghamton puts another shot on goal, bringing their total up to 7, but none have been able to escape past the goaltender quite yet. 11 seconds left of power play time, and then Joe Pace will come out of the penalty box. Kirkby down low with it as the Black Bears try to start a cycle. Liskowitz tapping his stick on the ice, signifying a man coming out of the penalty box, but Mac Lewis will take over, giving up to Jurich in the slot. Jurich pulling it back to his backhand and turned away by Wayrick as Mississippi kills off another penalty. They're 2 for 2 on the night on the kill. Pass read the whole way by Levier as the alternate captain for Mississippi will carry away. 2-on-1, backhand saucer pass in the blue paint and out, still controlled by Mississippi. Crancy throws it around the corner, but it'll be Mac Lewis who was camped out ready for it. But Lewis will dump it into the Mississippi bench, and it'll be a defensive zone faceoff coming up for Binghamton. Mississippi does a good job of killing the penalty to begin the frame, shift the momentum back in favor of the visitors. And they still lead the shots tally by 1, and where it matters most, they lead the score by 1 as well. Face-off won by Mississippi, and shot trying to make its way through by Hunt, but instead it's turned aside by some Binghamton defensemen. Teams will jockey for it on the side of the wall, and the puck will end up on the stick of Gavin Abbott. Abbott trying to power his way back to his forehand, and Abbott taking a run at one of the Seawolf defender, Caleb Boudreau. Boudreau loses the puck at the blue line, and a temporary keep, but an offsides is called. Yates, Thompson, and Anderson for the Black Bears back out on the ice as the faceoff is won backwards by Yates all the way on goal for Liskowitz, who will have to cover up and freeze. It will now be same lines for everybody, and they will reset the faceoff. Offensive zone faceoff now for Mississippi. They send Trevor Finch to the one-timing position off of the draw, but they can't get the puck to him. Ends up down low. Liskowitz pads it away as Yates will stick handle in a phone booth around a defender and try to get his speed up. Brings it out of the blue line into the neutral zone and carries in himself. Forehand to backhand. Yates trying to go top shelf, and a good save by Wayrick as he gets turned aside. Slap shot put on, and a momentarily steer of the puck by Wayrick gives Mississippi a lot of time and space to operate. Liskowitz with one of his best saves of the night, stopping Jake Raleigh, who had plenty of opportunity to make this game 2-0 as we get our first little scrum of the game. Mathieu Boilar mixing it up with Lucas Helen of Mississippi. Looks like cooler heads are going to prevail as the linesmen get in between the players. 16:25 left to go here in period number 1. Getting a look at the Heinz Energy replay here in the arena, and Jake Raleigh in all alone had a lot of room if he wanted to try a deke move, but instead went with the shot, and Liskowitz stands tall. Another wrist shot put on at the point by Mississippi's defenseman, turned aside by Liskowitz. Puck is scrambling loose out in the blue paint, but it appears that Binghamton takes over, control the puck. Turnover, though, and a good wrap poke check by Liskowitz. Puts the puck on the stick of Tyler Jurich. And teams are trading opportunities in the Black Bear end. Here comes Mac Lewis, though. The big right-handed centerman carrying in, and it's steered away momentarily as Mississippi will come away with the loose puck once again. Here we go. 3-on-3 opportunity. Carrying it in now into the zone is McKittrick. McKittrick puts it on and chopped away by Liskowitz. Liskowitz and Schultz didn't have an idea where that puck was going to be. But Binghamton gets lucky as they push the puck across the blue line and will chase it in on the offensive half. Wayward goes off the wall instead of letting his defender touch it. Vasulik now keeping the puck in at the blue line as long as he can, but Mississippi will escape harm. Once again, Hunt dumps it off for Levier and just past the stick of Ho Charinko as Ho Carincho will dump it off as Gavin Abbott is camped out at his own blue line. Keeps the puck in momentarily, but Tyler Pekarski and MJ Merkel, third defensive pairing for Coach Gary Gill and his Black Bears tonight, will take control of the puck. Got a chance to talk with Tyler earlier this week at the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. He was one of our guests. I want to thank Tyler for his time. As the stretch pass is off of the stick of D'Angelo. Comes up empty-handed and a leveling hit by Gavin Abbott. Sits down one of the Seawolves. Brandon Baker has to collect himself off of the ice, and MJ Merkel takes exception to one of the Seawolves being in the paint. Hunt now with the puck, trying to cycle it. Nobody home for Mississippi as Pekarski takes control of it momentarily. And now Mississippi trying to chase after Binghamton as teams are trading hits now here in the second period. No icing called from the linesman as Austin Thompson was first to it, but he can't keep control of the puck as teams are leaving the puck behind and throwing bodies into the wall. Yarwood will brush off a soft hit, and Boilar will chip it ahead as Yates makes contact with the puck. No icing here, as Mississippi will go D to D. Puck gets steered into the open corner as Boilar gets a high hit placed on his opposer, as Yarwood will backhand steer it for Thompson. Thompson not first to it, as it was Bush Anderson making first contact with the puck. It appears that Mississippi will be content to give Binghamton control momentarily as they will roll a change. And Austin Thompson, Jesse Anderson, and Gavin Yates back into the offensive end. They've been on the ice for quite a while, over a minute shift now, as Yates loses his edge, takes out his own man, and Mississippi will escape harm. Yaroslav Yadinkamov will steer it around as he will direct traffic, calling for it. Yarwood with a good defensive play to make sure that the puck escapes harm and forces Mississippi on the touch-up offsides. 12:51 left to go as the Worldwide Sports Supply Ice Crew makes its way on the ice. The horn goes off. We're headed to a quick timeout. Come back with more. It's still 1-0 Mississippi. After these messages, you're listening to Black Bear Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
Is proud to serve the southern tier in northern Pennsylvania with more than 50 years of combined experience. Our services include residential and commercial construction, historical renovations, and custom stone fabrication and installation. Mention this ad when scheduling your free quote and receive 10% off your first project. Get started today. Visit ajcaf.com or call 607-275-5495. Atlas James Construction will help you get the job done right.
Now back to more Black Bears hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Welcome back in, as it appears that they've selected a Muckles student of the game here tonight inside Visions Veterans Federal Credit Union. Apologies for that sound going through. Someone going off with the Vuvuzela right near one of our crowd microphones. As we get set for more hockey in the second period. Power move by Mississippi to the forehand. Seawolf ends up in the net. Liskowitz is down on his backside. It gets deflected out of play, and it'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Seawolves coming up. Boy, oh boy. Pucks were jumping, bodies were flying, and Yaroslav Yadokamov ends up in the net. Looking at the Heinz Energy replay, Liskowitz had no idea where the puck was. He was just trying to get back up on his feet. Top line out once again as Jake Schultz, defenseman, hybrid player. We'll see him at forward at some point later on this year, but for the 2 games so far for Binghamton, he's been stationed on the blue line. Tip from Jurich just wide of the net of Wayrick. And a stretch pass all the way down the ice onto the stick of Chris Hunt. And a backhand top shelf right over the shoulder of Owen Liskowitz. Dennis Honcharenko elevates it over the shoulder of Liskowitz, and it's 2-0 Mississippi with 12:01 left to go. Face-off controlled by Binghamton as they look to get on the scoreboard. It's 2-0 Mississippi as we get back to the action. 11:50 to go as the puck will elude the defenseman as Gino D'Angelo trying to get ahead of steam, just throws a stick on it to control it momentarily. Black Bears in control. Wrist shot put on. Puck is loose. And it'll be swallowed up by Wayrick on the wrist shot from MJ Merkel. The Black Bears have e-gift cards available. You can choose the look of the card, how much to put on it, and send it through the email. It can be used for tickets or merchandise. Black Bears e-gift cards available right now at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. 11:30 left to go. Mississippi up by a deuce as the Seawolves carry into the offensive end. Matt Caranchi was first in the zone with the puck. He was stationed out in front of the net as the Black Bears and Seawolves trade chops at it, trying to take control of the puck, and it'll be Brandon Baker who sets it up on a tee, but instead it'll be Cameron Yarwood for Binghamton who has momentarily control of the puck, and Boilar will give it up for Yarwood. Yarwood and Boilar trying to create defense into offense as Yates finds a man, and a wrist shot put wide of the net. Boilard sends it to the left of the goaltender, and out comes Mississippi. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Wrist shot put over high of Liskowitz. No shot on goal there as teams are trading shots off target so far in the middle portion of the second frame. Shots 13-1 favoring Mississippi, and where it matters most, Seawolves by 2. Good strip at the blue line by Jesse Anderson, looking for a friend to pass to. Instead, just throws a weak wrist shot on goal. Jurich trying to find somebody to pass to, but Anderson was going off for a change. Kirkby holds the line. Yates is still out in front and turned away at the last moment by Chris Hunt. Jurich gives it up for Schultz. Wrist shot blocked on the way through, and Binghamton will have to collect the loose change in their own end. Mississippi will run a partial change stretch pass, and they're going to say icing against Binghamton. It'll come 200 feet back into the defensive end. Levier wins it forward once again against Mac Lewis. Levier's done a good job of winning faceoffs for Mississippi tonight and pushing them forward as well. Levier and the aforementioned Lewis are jostling for the puck behind the net. 2-on-1 as there comes the backup, Jake Schultz. Will come in, and Powell loses his stick momentarily, trying to soccer it out of the zone, and he escapes it to an out-camp Tyler Jurich. Jurich all alone, looking for somebody to pass to as Lewis will just steer it in on his backhand. Binghamton needed to change more than they needed control of the puck there. Some partial changes as Pekarski makes his way onto the ice. Wrist shot put on and swallowed up on the one, Harper, on the partially blocked shot by Tyler Pekarski, who appears to be shaken up after that play. 9:17 left to go. Mississippi now up by 2. We're going to take another timeout. Come back with more. Still a lot of hockey left to go. You're listening to Black Bear Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. The Black Bears have special jersey auctions all season long. Just keep checking BinghamtonBlackBears.com to see current and upcoming so you can get your hands on game-worn jerseys. Live online auctions all season long at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Coming out of the shot on goal and cover up from Owen Liskowitz. Mississippi has control of the puck after an offensive zone faceoff, and the shot is blocked by D'Angelo. A little bit too much mustard on the shot block as it makes its way all the way down to Wayrick, who will steer the puck behind the net for the Mississippi defense. Black Bears getting the opportunity to get to the forecheck as Vasulik will try to find the puck in his skates, and Yarwood holds the blue line momentarily, trying to pass it to himself off the wall. He has a good friend in Gino D'Angelo looking for a centering pass as it ends up behind the net. Vasulik, power move denied by Wayrick, the goaltender, as the Black Bears applied heavy pressure on that forecheck, creating some chances there. Mississippi, though, however, still has control of the puck as Boylar tries to separate his man from the puck. He does momentarily as Yarwood will chip it away. Here comes Austin Thompson down the right wing side. Power move by Thompson, gets taken down. No call by either official. A lot of fans in green and black not happy about that one. Anderson now with a heavy hit on his man, Matt Carnucci, getting the better end of that one. Thompson now getting ahead of steam, but a good defensive back check by Baker. Separates his man from the puck, and icing against Mississippi will come all the way back. Crowd not too happy about it, but they're not going to change the opinions of the referees as we continue on. Face-off won by Lewis, and Kirkby now with control of the puck. The right winger, left-handed skating forward, carrying it behind the net, gets double-teamed, and he gets sent down to the ice on a big hit from Brandon Baker. Crowd hoping for something to cheer about as Binghamton does take the shots on goal lead. 14-13 now, but where it matters, Mississippi up by 2. Jurich in the slot, wrist shot high the net. As Lewis will try to backhand it, gets loose, and Raywick has to be on his toes and slap that puck out of midair. And the referee will have an end to that one as Kirkby, with his helmet hanging on by a thread, gets a little bit of a face shove from one of the Seawolves. See how this one is drawn up as the two head referees will get together with one of the linesmen. Boos and jeers rain down from the faithful here as we take a look. And it looks like the gate opens momentarily for the penalty box, and it's Joe Pace once again who's making his way to the penalty box. Looks like Binghamton will be on the power play once again. A lot of the Binghamton members of the power play unit huddled around Coach Gary Gill right now, trying to just make a read on what can happen as Powell and Levier are getting some explanations from the officials. Don't forget, next broadcast tomorrow night, 6:45 airtime on Fox 1430 and the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube as well. for the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Same exact matchup. Mississippi versus Binghamton, game 2. Getting a look at the Heinz Energy replay now as Joe Pace just not letting Kirby get up and pushes him down, helmet off. Kirkby's laughing about it, and Pace with a mean demeanor on his face. Yarwood, Kirkby, Powell, Jurich, and Yates, the 5 offensive players for Binghamton. Face off one and give him back to Yarwood. He goes D to D with Powell. 2 defensemen on this unit for Gary Gill's Binghamton Black Bears. Yarwood trying to look off a defender as Binghamton will start the rotation. They give it up. Jurich sends it high on the slap shot and into the netting. Out of play. This will be a, this is a 5-on-3. First time this year that Binghamton's on 5-on-3. They give double penalties. Lucas Helen also given a penalty as well. 5-on-3 for Binghamton. Yarwood now. Head fake and drops it down low for Yates. Yates looking for a friend to pass to. They got a lot of space and a big save from Wayrick, just barely getting the glove to it. And the saucer pass just gets over the stick of Jurich as Binghamton tries to make their way into the offensive zone. Cross-ice pass for Yates, and his feet can't put it on net right away. Jurich with a one-timer and denied by Wayrick. Binghamton trying to pick up the offense here as Jurich fires a wrist shot. He scores! Pardon me, it's a Tyler Jurich slap shot, and the Black Bears are on the board. Tyler Jurich takes matters into his own hands and blasts one past Wayrick. It's 2-1. They cut the lead in half with 6:18 left to go, and they have 64 seconds remaining of power play time. Face-off won by Binghamton. And the Black Bears enter the zone still with over 50 seconds of power play time. One-timer Thompson on a knuckle puck. Wayrick had it momentarily. It was on the goal line. Where's the puck now? Nobody knows. Referee says no goal, washes it out, and play will continue. Schultz looking for a cross-ice feed. Instead, it gets into the slot of Jesse Anderson. D-to-D passing for Boydlar. 2 defensemen once again out on the ice. Thompson down on one knee. Loses control of the puck momentarily. It's in the blue paint, and it'll escape the reach of Jake Schultz with 20 seconds left on the power play. Binghamton will start a final push. Gino D'Angelo carries it in. Hometown kid, fans on a wrist shot on the follow-through. And through the blue paint and out harmlessly. 4 seconds and 3. And Boylar loses control of the puck momentarily. And Binghamton falls to 1 for 4 on the power play. They get a 5-on-3 goal, but can't convert on the extra man. Puck still available, and they score when they get back to even strength. Gino D'Angelo cashes in, and this game is tied at 2. D'Angelo with his first goal of the season ties the game up at 2 apiece with 5:03 left to go in the second period. Taking a look at the Heinz Energy replay, Wayrick didn't know where the puck was, and D'Angelo takes the opportunity to collect the loose change and ties the game at 2. That's the voice of Frank Murney, PA announcer this year for the Binghamton Black Bears, as Gavin Abbott now will dump the puck all the way around. Josh Newberg back out on the ice. Newberg the extra forward tonight for the Black Bears. Haven't seen him too much, but trying to make his presence known. Tyler Jurich out there with Abbott and Newburgh as well. Mississippi had a 2-0 lead, and they quickly saw that evaporate in a span of about 2.5 minutes. Jurich cashing in on the 5-on-3, and D'Angelo ruled an even strength goal. 4:20 left to go as Mississippi will carry in. Here comes Levier. Levier still with the puck on his stick, gets it stripped away by MJ Merkel, who throws it all the way down. They say it was tipped on the way through by a defenseman. No icing, and everybody will have the opportunity to change. Long stretch pass down to the blue line onto the stick of Chris Hunt, who dumps it in, but it will escape his teammates' allure, and Binghamton will escape pressure. Here comes Mac Lewis, gets bumped off the puck by Trevor Finch. Liskowitz sets it up on a tee, and Pekarski steers it on his backhand. Nobody home. One-timer is sent wide of the net by Lucas Helen. MJ Merkel made him pay for it. And Pekarski will reverse it to himself momentarily, carry it on his forehand, trying to get the puck out to Kirkby, who will chip it out of the blue line, and Mississippi is forced to tag up. Turnover at center ice as Jurich played it back from Merkel. Merkel diving down to his feet, lost the puck in his skates. Wrist shot put on, turned aside easily by Liskowitz. And the Black Bears have tied up the game at 2. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the middle frame. Shots on goal now favoring the Black Bears 21-14. Back with you after these messages. You're listening to Black Bear Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
Charitable organizations, the arts, or sporting events, Columbian and its dedicated employees are committed to helping our neighbors enjoy life a little more. Columbian Financial Group, proudly supporting our community while ensuring families nationwide.
Now back to more Black Bears Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Welcome back into the Jeff Keyes Auto Sales broadcast booth. Coming out of the timeout, Mississippi wins a momentarily face-off, but the puck finds its way underneath the glove of Owen Liskowitz, who will cover up, and we will freeze, reset, and guess what? Do it all again. Face-off won by Binghamton as Gavin Yates will take a head of steam, carry the puck over the red line, and dump it in. Austin Thompson will chase after it, and first to it will be Jesse Anderson instead. Thompson with the puck behind the net, centering pass, nobody home, as Yates cannot collect the loose change. Good defensive play by Mississippi to keep this game tied at 2. Binghamton with all the momentum now as they lead the shots on goal by 6, and the game is tied where it matters the most at 2. Powell keeps it in momentarily at the blue line. Gavin Yates looking for a friend to pass to. He finds Jake Schultz, who dumps it up down low. Nice tic-tac-toe passing for the Black Bears, but a good save by Rayrick off of the shot of Jesse Anderson. Turns it aside. Puck knocked down legally by a hand, and it'll be no icing. Black Bears first to it. Binghamton getting a little lucky that Yates and Thompson were cherry picking down low. Wrap check by Rayrick pushes the puck momentarily off of the stick of Yates. Knuckle puck from Yarwood steered aside by the goaltender and given away by Jurich, and Mississippi will escape harm momentarily. Honcharenko now giving it up for Hunt. Turnaround shot ends up off of the skate of Levier and played legally with a hand for Mac Lewis. Gets his hand up high. No call from the referees. Got to be careful of a hook there. Yarwood trying to apply any pressure he can to Levier, who dumps it off in the favor of Joe Pace. Pace with 3 penalties served so far in tonight's contest. More on that on the Excite Motorsports second intermission report, as we will have the official stat sheet provided by the off-ice officials. It's 2-2 now. 75 seconds left to go in the frame. Levier looking for a friend to pass to. It's stripped away, though, by Tyson Kirkby, playing his first game back in the green and black for the Black Bears. 1 minute left to go. Mississippi will roll the change. Binghamton content to keep the same guys on the ice. Yarwood thought about passing up, takes a look down the ice. Instead, self-pass Yarwood. Too much footwork as he loses control of the puck, and out come the Seawolves. Here comes Lucas Helen. Helen into the zone by himself, dropping it off for Justin Barr. Barr throws it on net. Easy misdirection of the puck for Liskowitz, and a high chip off the glass from Pekarski with 30 ticks left on the clock. Barr now carrying it into the zone, and folks, we got a good one for you. 2-2 with 20 ticks left in the frame. Pekarski now steers his man down to the ice. Look out. Justin Barr hit a slick spot. 10 seconds left. Here comes Vasulik. Vasulik, wrist shot put on, swallowed by Wayrick. And 5.5 seconds left to go before the Excite Motorsports second intermission report. Face-off one back by Mississippi, and that looks like it'll be the end of the period. Kirkby got his stick taken away from him in the yawning seconds of the period, but no call from the official. A good bounce-back period for Binghamton. We'll have the full stats and more coming up on the Excite Motorsports intermission report. It's 2-2. Seawolves and Black Bears knotted at a deuce. Back with you after these messages. You're listening to the Excite Motorsports intermission report on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Now, fans, it's time for the Excite Motorsports Chugga from 98.1 The Hawk. Here's the picture.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. Hey, let's hear it for your Black Bears. 2 goals, 2 more to some burgers tonight, as we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of professional hockey. I'm with Bucket Girls, Ashley and Tara tonight. Now, the way it's going to work this evening is when we ask you to chuck your pucks, you're going to throw it in the middle. And whoever's the closest to the middle, you'll be our winner. You'll have a chance to win an ATV, courtesy of Excite Motorsports, which will give away their last regular season game of the season. Hey, the ATVs don't show up. Not much you can do about that. Hey, don't forget, Mississippi is here again tomorrow night. We're going to celebrate Halloween. Come early to get your candy. Also, come in costume. All right? Come early. We'd love to see you tomorrow night here at the arena. Once again, closest to the middle, we'll announce the number and then your name. And you'll be eligible to win that ATV. The invisible ATV from Excite Motorsports. It's talking right now. All right. You guys are away. Ladies and gentlemen, start your pucks. By the way, I want to say a very special happy birthday to Tara. Tara is a sweet 16 today. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Tara. Happy birthday to you. Hey, listen to 98.1 The Hawk on Monday. Find out how you can be going to Florida to see Carrie Underwood with $500 in your pocket. All the details. 98.1 The Hawk beginning on Monday. Carrie Underwood, Florida in February. All right. Keep rocking the music. Woo! All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Tara, birthday girl Tara. All right, you gotta come over. Come here, Tara. All right, Tara, grab the closest puck to the middle and announce the number for me. That is it. All right. Tara's 16 today, by the way, in case I didn't mention that before. All right, Tara, what number is it? 61. 61! Congratulations. We'll announce your 61, is that you? Someone over there like 61. You have won yourself a key. Come back, your chance to win an ATV for Exciting Motorsports. We will give it away on the final regular season, regular game of the season. Regular season game. Easy to make this up. All right, tomorrow night, Mississippi back here. Let's go, Black Bears.
We have a winner for Chuckle Buck tonight. It's Nate Anthony. Congratulations.
Nate Anthony, congratulations. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, there you go. See, we got onto it, bud.
cheeseburger, courtesy of our friends at Burger King. Hey fans, don't forget to stop on the concourse and grab a beer from Southern Tier Brewing. Southern Tier Brewing is a proud sponsor of Binghamton Black Bears. Fans 21 and over, of course. If your Black Bears win tonight, everyone in attendance will receive a buy one get one CD combo, courtesy of our friends at Brulo's S&S Charlton. Can't make it to a game? Check out the Binghamton Black Bears YouTube channel to catch every game for free. Every Saturday night home game, we offer the Little Venice 4-pack, 4 Black Bears game tickets, and a $25 Little Venice gift card for only $44. Call the Black Bears office office to get this deal. Join the Black Bears Cup Club today. For just $10, kids receive a t-shirt, NY529 drawstring bag, kids meal at Texas Roadhouse, Midway Lanes gift card, and more. Sign up at the information stand on the concourse behind Section 27 today. Is it someone's birthday? Let them know. You can have their name announced live at tonight's game. Birthday sign-ups are at the information stand on the main concourse for only $1.
Welcome back into the Exciting Motorsports second period intermission for more Exciting Motorsports browse, ride, and buy free next day delivery to New York and Pennsylvania. Visit them online at excitedmotorsports.com. It's now time to take a look at the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club highlights from periods 1 and 2. It was Mississippi who got on the board first in the second frame. There's a goal by Dennis Poncharenko and assisted by Chris Hunt and Chris Levier, the two Chris's, connecting with Dennis at even strength at 7:59 of period number 2. Then momentum started to shift after a penalty by Joe Pace Jr. He received a minor penalty for roughing. Third penalty of the game taken by Pace. And then Lucas Helen took a 2-minute delay of game penalty as well. That was served at the same time, and for 2 minutes, Mississippi would have been down on the 5-on-3 had it not been for Tyler Jurich, who at 13:42 of the period scores his second of the season, assisted by former Black Bear and now current returner Tyson Kirkby, former City Oswego Laker, and Kyle Powell. That came 5-on-3 on the power play. 2-man advantage, I should add. 64 seconds left of power play time was still on the board after the Jurich goal. However, Mississippi was able to kill off the rest of the penalties. But after Jurich's goal, about a minute and 15 seconds later, so just 10 seconds after all things evened up in terms of players on the ice, Gino D'Angelo cashes in. Hometown kid from Binghamton, and he let the crowd know about it. He got really energetic as he buried a loose rebound. Wayrick had no idea where the puck was, bouncing right onto the blade of D'Angelo. Assist goes to Austin Thompson, who put the initial shot on goal. And that's where we stand after 2 periods. Both Wayrick and Liskowitz doing a good job standing on their heads and keeping the puck in front of them as best as they can. That's mainly the reason why we are stuck at 2-2. As we talked about earlier in the intermission show, 18 shots on goal for Binghamton in the second period. They got to their game as things went on a little bit at their pace that the Black Bears have been used to. That's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. 20 minutes left to go here. It'll be up to one of these teams to break the tie as it stands right now. Who knows what we might have coming on a little bit later. Taking a look on the out-of-town scoreboard here. Columbus and Elmira. As Elmira just scores about a minute ago to cut the lead in half. Columbus leading on the road in New York against the Elmira Mammoth 2-1. Taking a look over now at the Danbury and Delaware game as we find a score in the second period. It's Danbury up 2-0 over the Thunder. Hat tricks over the Thunder, 2-0. That game going on in Connecticut. And the Carolina Thunderbirds are taking on the Port Huron Growlers. And the Thunderbirds are trailing 2-3 right now as they just get on the board here 5 minutes ago. Justin Kringle with his first goal of the season. So Growlers leading Thunderbirds 3-2. Only one game left to check up on as we go through the out-of-town scoreboard. If you want to follow along, Federal Prospects Hockey League all year long. Go to federalhockey.com. They have a running score of all the games going on. It's a great resource and tool to find up-and-coming prospects as the guys try to climb the ranks of professional hockey. Watertown and Motor City, according to the website, and they are still tied at 0-0. Shots are 11-10, favoring the Watertown Wolves at home. Again, 0-0 at Watertown Arena. Wolves and Rockers looking for the game's first goal. That was our look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We're going to take another timeout, come back, and we will set things up, getting ready to go for the third period. You're listening to the Excite Motorsports Intermission Report, brought to you by our friends over at Excite Motorsports, located at 408 Front Street in Vestal. Give them a call, 607-341-7588, or online at www.excitemotorsports.com. Getting ready to go, 2-2, 20 minutes coming up after these messages. You're listening to Fox 1430 in Binghamton and on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome back in as we get things teed up for you here before the final 20 minutes of tonight's contest. It's Mississippi 2, Binghamton 2 in a cross-division matchup. Of course, Mississippi playing in the Continental Division as divisions are back this year for the FPHL, and Binghamton atop of the Empire Division as it stands right now. Referees make their way back out onto the ice. As we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, we ran through the highlights brought to you by Binghamton Hockey Booster Club. We want to thank Binghamton Hockey Booster Club over 50 years of supporting hockey in Binghamton. 50th anniversary of Binghamton Hockey to be announced at a later date this year. I have seen the jerseys, at least a mock-up on them. They look great. I think fans will really appreciate all the hard work that Rob before me and Julia and everybody else in the front office staff put into organizing and putting out some great merchandise in lure of 50 years of Binghamton hockey. That'll wrap it up here on the Excite Motorsports second period intermission show. Excite Motorsports, browse, ride, and buy free next day delivery to New York and PA. Visit them online at excitemotorsports.com. Third period is coming up next. This is Black Bears hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton and on the iHeartRadio app.
New shipments are arriving daily. People are coming from all over, and the reason is clear.
Black Bear fans, this Bud's for you. Each and every day, Budweiser works hard towards the high bar that they set for themselves, earning their position as the king of beer. They are sponsoring the 3 stars of all the Black Bears games all season long. Enjoy an ice-cold Budweiser on the concourse inside the arena, or visit your local vendor today. Budweiser, the king of beers and proudly brewed right here in the United States since 1864.
Be the first to get all the latest Binghamton Black Bears news, special exclusive offers, and stay up to date on upcoming games by signing up to join the Binghamton Black Bears email club. Just head to binghamtonblackbears.com and sign up today. You'll receive team-related news delivered right to your inbox. Keep an eye out for special exclusive offers only available to email club members. It's the Binghamton Black Bears email club. Sign up and start saving money today.
Calling all hockey fans, we are celebrating 50 years of Binghamton hockey this weekend as the Binghamton Black Bears take on the Mississippi Seawolves on Friday and Saturday night. It's going to be a great weekend. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com.
Now back to more Black Bears hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Apologies for the delay. We joined the third period in process. The third period is brought to you by our friends over at American National Heating and Cooling. As Tyson Kirkby carries it into the zone now, a little too soft of a pass intended for Schultz, and out come the Seawolves. Here comes Levier. Levier been talking about his name all night long, wearing a letter on his jersey for the Seawolves. He's been a part of almost every single play. Puck kept in and trying to tip it on point, and the puck ends up on the side of the net below the goal line. Binghamton escapes harm momentarily as Austin Thompson puts off a nifty move. 2-on-1. Yates trying to get it back to Thompson. It's in his skates, but he can't locate it. And Yates giving it up for Anderson. Seawolves now countering in. Wrist shot blocked on the way through by Yarwood. A shot put right on by Matt Caranchi as Yates trying to toe drag around his man Thompson, giving it up on the backhand. Poked away by Boilar, and out go the Seawolves. Boilar trying to strip away his man of the puck, and a good job by Boilar. He does that. Here comes Gavin Yates. Yates looking across the ice for a feed to Anderson. On target to Wayrick, but an easy cover-up. Will be a momentarily pausing the action. Offensive zone faceoff coming up for Binghamton. Third period brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They are built to a higher standard. Mississippi dumps it all the way in, too far in front of their forwards, but MJ Merkel will turn the puck over. Puck ends up in the slot. And the Seawolves' Justin Barr will corral it, and a big block from Bakarski, not afraid to go down to his knees to make the play. They throw it all the way down the ice, and it's icing against the Black Bears. Learning Ladder Child Care Centers are located in Endicott and Johnson City. They enroll children ages 6 weeks to 12 years old. Call 607-770-3806 for an appointment today to walk through one of their facilities. Come join their family and they will help your child grow. I want to thank our friends over at the Learning Ladder for sponsoring another year of Binghamton Black Bears hockey. Knotted at 2, 17:32 left to go here in the final period. Shots on goal are 22-17, favoring the hometown Black Bears. Puck ends up behind the net, centering pass, and the Seawolves score. A nifty play from behind the net as Yadokimov centers one up, and it's Chris Hunt who gives Mississippi the lead once again on the centering pass. Puck is dropped and Mississippi wins the faceoff forward again. Jake Raleigh with a head of steam tries to play it forward as Kirkby tries to stand his man up. But instead the puck gets played off the linesman. This could work out for the Black Bears if they play it right. Unfortunately for them, Mississippi takes control. And the guys dressed in green will have to reset and recollect. A 3-2 ball game. Here, 17 minutes left to go. 2-on-1 developing for Mississippi. And a good play from Powell, but a better play from his feet. Jake Raleigh keeping the puck in down low. Soft pass at the point from Clintworth is detected by Powell, who will take it back himself, reset everything for Binghamton as the top line is out on the ice for the Black Bears. Mac Lewis doing a lot of heavy hitting right at the red line in front of his own bench. As it looks like Binghamton would not be first to the puck this time as it ends up behind the net in possession of the Seawolves. Yarwood, though, does a good job of stripping it away from a defender. Gavin Yates 2-on-2. Yates feeling the pressure on his backhand. Looking for a friend to pass to. Has Anderson cutting through in the slot. Wrist shot put on high the target. And it'll escape the blue line. Binghamton forced to tag up. Gavin Yates takes a look down the ice. Retreats momentarily. Mississippi will take the opportunity to change their lines, and a good wrap check by Levier, forcing Binghamton to tag up. Shot thrown on goal, and Wayrick will throw it out to one of his teammates, Joe Pace. Pace with 3 penalties already in the game, a rough hook and cross check, but icing is called against the Seawolves. We're bringing it 200 feet back as Mississippi will not be allowed to change, and the Black Bears get some fresh bodies on the ice. .47 to go. Off of the icing. Linesmen and the officials not happy with Mississippi trying to change players. Mississippi, though, will win the defensive zone faceoff and take control of the puck. Boudreau throws it up for Levier, and Levier doesn't have enough of a muscle on that pass to find his teammate. But Levier will chip it away. Pekarski with his stick on the ice now will recollect it as the puck is deflected out of play by Tyson Kirkby. Kirkby, the former Laker of SUNY Oswego at the Division III level. Good program. Line mate for the Lakers, and now line mate once again for the Black Bears in Mac Lewis, centering Kirkby and Jurich as the Black Bears find themselves down by 1. Just over 15 minutes left to go in the final period, but in offsides as Jurich was in a little early on the far side. The weekend is here, and Stop DUI wants to remind you to always have a plan when going out. Impaired driving has serious consequences and can impact your family, your job, and your community. If you're going out, please remember to have a plan. Download the I Have a Plan app for more information. 5 minutes gone here in the final period. And Mississippi finds themselves up by 1 again. Gavin Abbott coming to the backhand. Giangelo fanned and whiffed on it. Lost his stick. Slap shot from Schultz. Never made it to the goaltender. As D'Angelo's having a hard time keeping control of his stick right now. He dropped it once again. Here come off for a change. as Mississippi dumps it in on Liskowitz into the glove and pass aside for Jake Schultz. Schultz backhands it in all the way behind the net of Wayrick as it'll come all the way around as the Black Bears try to get on a forecheck, try to rekindle what offense that they found in the second period here in the final third as they find themselves once again down by 1. 14:22 left to go here as Mississippi ices the puck. The Seawolves have been guilty of a couple of icings here tonight. As we set everything down. Yates trying to win the faceoff, but a defensive win by the Seawolves, and out comes Trevor Finch, pushing it forward himself, chasing after it. Head is steam, but he loses his edge. Maybe hit a dry spot out on the ice as Binghamton carries it away. Yates now 3-on-2 for the Black Bears. Yates toe drags around his man, gets onto the backhand. Will indirect pass it over to Boylard, tipped on. Available, Thompson denied by Wayrick, off the backside of the netting. Everybody in the arena thought that one tied the game up, but Mississippi escapes harm. They dump it as soon as they cross the red line and get a change. Big scoring chance right there for Binghamton, but they come up empty-handed. Maybe one pass too many. Seawolves still with a 1-goal advantage. Shot thrown on by Hunt, and it's redirected by Liskowitz as he turns it aside. Kirkby will chop at it with one hand as Boylard will make contact with the puck, and it appears that the indication was the puck was played with a high stick. That'll take us to a media timeout. 13:26 left to go here in the third period. Mississippi regains a 1-goal lead as the Seawolves are up 3-2 over the Black Bears. You're listening to Binghamton Hockey on Fox 1430 and on the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back in. Third period brought to you by our friends over at American Standard Natural Heating and Cooling. They are the standard. I want to thank our friends over at ANC. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They are built to a higher standard. 13:26 left to go. Puck was played with a high stick. That sent us to commercial, and the face-off will be just outside of the Binghamton blue line on the defensive side. Black Bears find themselves down by 1. First time that the Black Bears have been trailing this season through 3 games. Nice move by Yadokimov as the Black Bears try to escape the zone, as Liskowitz will have to turn aside a slap shot that never got off the ground. On the way through, here comes Tyson Kirkby. 1-on-3 is Kirkby, and they will dump it in. Black Bears tag up. Play is now onside, and it looks like the Seawolves will be content to play patty cake with the puck on their own end and give the puck up for Chris Levier. Shot by one of the wingers for Mississippi, wide of the target that time. Yevdokimov missing everything, but Levier collects the loose change, finding a friend to pass to, but a good defensive play by Merkel. Comes up high with a heavy hit, separating his man from the puck. MJ Merkel not happy about his team being down by 1. Wrist shot coming from the point, blocked on the way through by Pekarski. And Yadokimov will chip away now, fighting with Mac Lewis down low. Yadokimov will skate off to the bench as he is quite tired, as Binghamton will try to collect the loose change. Official almost getting in the way. Plays on sides. Anderson now trying to get to his power move. Backhand just wide of the net. Wayrick might have got a pad to it as the centering pass is in the feet of Gavin Yates and covered up by Wayrick. He wants to settle things down. Mississippi doing a lot of the heavy lifting here in this frame, as shots on goal are now only favoring Binghamton by 3, 24-21. With 11:51 left to go. someone you know have a birthday coming up, then check out one of the birthday experiences joining your friends and family to come celebrate at the Black Bears game. Get a custom Black Bears birthday cake and celebrate your birthday with the Black Bears. Shot wide of the target as Anderson was right on the doorstep looking for a tip in the back door, but instead it will be Binghamton collecting the loose change in the form of Jake Schultz. Had his team for Schultz, but look out, turnover. One pass too many as Liskowitz stands on his head. They chop and hack at it. And Binghamton escaped harm. Boy, that could have been detrimental to the Black Bears game tonight. Yates coming in, head of steam, saucer pass, but it eludes everybody. Kyle Powell at the point. Sees a shot, collects his own rebound, is blocked on the way through. And Anderson missing on his knees, trying to throw a redirection as the puck now shot in by Jake Schultz. Ends up behind the net. Binghamton will change. Teams trading chances, high danger chances that matter here as the puck is thrown in front of the red line. No icing. They try to find Gavin Abbott camped out at center ice, and they do. They give it to Gino D'Angelo. 3-on-2 for the Black Bears. D'Angelo in alone. Backhand. It ends up behind the net. Mississippi colliding with their own players right now. Heavy shot from Yarwood directed wide of the target. Good forechecking pressure from this third line as Vasulik steps into his man and reintroduces himself. 10:25 left to go here in the third period.
$10-11 left to go here. Now, apologies for the technical difficulties on the microphone. Testing out new accessories here tonight on the broadcast. Halfway through the final frame, Mississippi still up by 1. They lead 3-2. Gavin Abbott upended. No call from the officials. Taken down legally. A lot of fans dressed in green and black not happy with that call. Good backhand move from Hunt, who has an assist on a goal earlier tonight. Excuse me, Chris Hunt has a goal and an assist. 2-point night for Chris Hunt on night number 1 of Mississippi hockey again. Teams mucking it up a little bit outside of the realm of action of the vicinity of the puck. But Mac Lewis now in the corner with it. He's matched up against Jake Raleigh. Raleigh trying to give Lewis all he can handle, and Raleigh is going to be the one who comes up with it. Self-pass off the board, but redirected in by Merkel. Tyson Kirkby will be forechecking for the Black Bears. As there's 8:50 left to go here. Stretch pass. Offsides is the call by the linesman as Daniel McKittrick just a hair too early into the zone. Taking a timeout with 8:50 left to go. Seawolves up by 1. You're listening to Black Bear Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back in. 8:50 left to go on the clock here inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena, Brooks Hill. On the call for you tonight, calling the action solo as the Worldwide Sports Supply ice crew makes its way off of the ice. Black Bears will have an offensive zone face-off. Apologies for that intrusion on the microphone. Seawolves got on the board early in the frame. It's been the only icebreaker so far in the third period. And the referee will blow his whistle. Puck glides up into the netting. And we will reset, do it all again after shaving 2 seconds off of the clock. Teams will tie up for it as Gavin Yates tries to get control of the puck. He does so momentarily. Does a nice sidestep around his man, still with the puck. Gavin Yates calling his own number. Wrist shot, never made it on the way through as Anderson can't collect the loose change. And Referee with his arm up in the air, slashing is the call. As it looks like the Black Bears will be headed back to the power play. And it looks like Joe Pace will be taking his 4th penalty of the contest. He's taken a hooking call, cross-checking, roughing, and now slashing. He's running out of penalties in the rule book to infract upon. Big opportunity for Binghamton to tie this game up back on the power play. They are 1 for 4 on the night. Face-off push forward by Mac Lewis, and Anderson trying to collect the puck behind the net. A good forecheck from Anderson down low as the puck is still available. Teams will fight for it, and kept at the blue line by Kyle Powell. Powell, Jurich, Kirkby, Lewis, and Anderson, the 5 in green for the extra man. Jurich and Kirkby trade places. Wrist shot seen all the way through by Wayrick, and he will swallow up with 8:10 left to go. Check out all the new Black Bears merchandise by visiting the online store, blackbearshop.com. Jerseys, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats, so much more as well. We can ship or schedule a free office pickup. Dress like the Black Bears and head online to blackbearshop.com. Powell with a nice turnaround, keeping the zone. As Kirby now at the point, backhands it back to Powell. Powell, wrist shot put on, hits the goalie in the mask, and a good keep by Kirkby allows the Black Bears to keep the zone. Minute 15 left in power play time, and the mask has come off as Wingrick took the first one off of the mask, and he'll have some time to readjust, and out comes the second power play unit for Binghamton, along with a fresh set of penalty killers for Mississippi. Looked to be a booming shot from Tyson Kirkby that caught the goaltender up high in the mask. Probably knocked one of the straps loose, and goaltenders are taught, you hear a strap come loose, you can't physically take off your mask, but you'll see a lot of goaltenders at the professional level fling it off with the momentum, almost like you're going to give yourself whiplash. Yates set to take off this face-off, and he wins it back to Yarwood. A minute 10 left to go, and it'll jump over the stick of Yarwood over at the blue line. He'll have to come back and retreat. Jake Schultz, the other defenseman on this second power play unit, as Binghamton trying to get a clean entry into the zone. As Vasulik will give it away for Yarwood, chipped ahead, and Yarwood will be the first Black Bear to the puck. Directs traffic behind the net. Andre Vasulik all the way from Czechia, making his way out onto the ice. Yates dusting a man off, looking for a power move. Stays on his front hand. Doesn't have any space for the wraparound. Thompson looking. Wrist shot put on, and it'll escape the blue line once again. Mississippi can get 2 men off of the ice, but here come the Black Bears. Head in the zone, Gavin Yates stopping and starting. Vasulik catches a stick up high, and he's going down to the ice. And Andre Vasulik caught a stick up high, it appears, as Elise Wilbur is already making her way out onto the ice with 17 seconds left to go in the penalty to Joe Pace. Vasulik makes his way back up. Looks to be some blood on the ice in the far corner, where our friends over at Alexander's Cafe, sponsor of tomorrow night's college night, $10 tickets thanks to Alexander's Cafe. Make sure you go check them out in the heart of downtown Binghamton. We want to thank them for $10 college student tickets all season long on Saturday nights. You got to look at it on the Heinz Energy replay. Couldn't make it out from that angle if it was a stick or a puck that caught Vasulik up high, but 17 seconds left to go in the power play. They're going to call out the Worldwide Sports Supply ice crew to try to shovel up as much blood as they can off of the ice per customary rules of the FPHL. Keep it here after the game for the La Quinta Inn and Suites postgame show, where I have the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club highlights, CryoWorks play the game, the Budweiser 3 stars of the game, and a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and more. That's the La Quinta Inn and Suites postgame show. On the Worldwide Sports Supply ice crew continues to shovel off some of the remnants of the Andre Vasulik injury. It'll be a neutral zone face-off due to the referees blowing the play dead, due to the Black Bears being the ones who come up with a injured player. And it appears that it just caught Vasulik up high. It was a puck, at least from my angle. Caught him right underneath the visor and went down almost immediately. We hope Andre is okay. Face-off push backwards by Binghamton. 10 seconds left to go on the power play as Yarwood will start the final push for the Black Bears. 6:40 left to go here in a game where Binghamton trails by 1. Kirkby tries to sidestep his man. Puck is available in the slot, and out comes Pace, serving his 4th penalty of the game. And Kirkby now ahead to Yates. Yates drops it off, and Kirkby a 1 pass too many on the deflection. Mississippi now coming away with it. Here comes Justin Barr. Barr throws it down the ice. They say no icing or offsides, as Gavin Yates does a nice job dragging around his man. Finding a lot of open ice is Yates. Yates getting on his forehand, shoots for a rebound, and the puck will hop over the stick of Matu Boilar. Binghamton will have to tag up. The forwards will change. Defense stays the same momentarily. Out come Newberg, Abbott, and D'Angelo. Newberg in, down low. Paddle down by Wayrick behind the net. Josh Newberg fighting over for it. Had a goal on opening night off of the mask of the goaltender once again, as Wayrick using all of his body, including his head, making saves here in the 3rd period. Shots 27-22 Binghamton, but where it matters, Mississippi up by 1, 3-2. Seawolves will chip it away as Barr pokes it above the red line to make sure that they can negate an icing. Unfortunately for Barr, he took too much off of that pass as D'Angelo can't find it in his skates. Mississippi takes over on their own end. Chipped away by Barr this time, and everybody changing from Mississippi as the clock continues to tick down. 5 minutes left to go and change in the 3rd period. Mississippi 3, Binghamton 2. Here comes Lucas Helen giving an outlet pass for Trevor Finch. Camped out at the blue line, and there was a man in below him, but a good defensive play by Gavin Abbott. On the back check, turns away a high danger scoring opportunity. Puck kept in as Liskowitz will direct it into the corner with a blocker save. Chipped away, but too softly as the Seawolves were able to keep the zone. Schultz now getting to the puck, and Austin Thompson looking for a friend to pass to. Good forecheck right now for Mississippi, not letting the Black Bears escape their own end. In between the feet of Lewis as the Black Bears are trying to change Powell onto the ice, onto the stick of Jesse Anderson. Anderson trying on his backhand to get it to the front side, and a diving play from Michael Clintworth keeps the puck away from any Binghamton player. Powell sidestep his man, playing the puck legally with his hand, toe drags a defender, running out of real estate, gives it up for Yarwood. Centering pass directed in front, they score! Now you see it, now you don't. Yarwood throws it to the net, and it's tipped out in front by what appeared to be Austin Thompson, tying the game at 3. 4:06 left to go. That all started with the back check thanks to Gavin Abbott, making sure that Mississippi did not have a high danger scoring chance. Taking a look at the Heinz Energy replay, thrown out in front by Yarwood, and it appears that Thompson got a stick to it and puts it right over the glove in the middle portion of the net. We got a brand new ball game, 3-3 going in to the final 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the contest. Austin Thompson credited with the goal, assisted by number 57, Cameron Yarwood, Thompson's 4th goal of the season, as Levier comes in quickly and wants to dump the puck and really wants to regain the lead. Liskowitz covers up. And we will use this cover up and temporary stoppage of play to throw it to the final commercial of regulation time. Mississippi 3 and Binghamton 3, thanks to the tip in by Austin Thompson off the redirect from Cam Yarwood. You're listening to Binghamton Black Bears hockey on Fox 1430 and iHeartRadio. More after this.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Enter at foxsports1430.com.
Let me guess. Unknown caller. You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Now back to more Black Bears hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Face-off won by Mississippi as we welcome you back into the action as puck is thrown into the crease and a leaping Owen Liskowitz makes a jumping grab with his glove and wants to melt things down. 3:33 left to go. Binghamton tying the game up thanks to Austin Thompson picking up his 4th goal of the season. Levier matched up with Jake Schultz down low, and Schultz is a big man, not a guy you want to mess with. Onto the stick of Tyson Kirkby. Kirkby 1-on-2, trying to keep control of the puck, gets muscled off it momentarily by Boudreau. Puck is available near the blue paint, but Mississippi will direct the goaltender Wayrick to cover up and hold for a face-off. Three Black Bears down below the goal line, putting a heavy forecheck pressure onto the Seawolves. It's a 3-3 ball game here in weekend number 2 for the Black Bears, weekend number 1 for Mississippi. The same two teams will be in action again tomorrow night. Big hit from Gavin Abbott as one of the players for the Seawolves loses his helmet. Ethan Bush Anderson makes his way over to the bench, and Gavin Abbott with what could be potentially the collision of the game. Here comes Anderson, Jesse Anderson, carrying the puck now on his forehand, gets tied up by Clintworth. Good defensive play by Clintworth, and the Seawolves look to escape harm. 2:20 left to go here in the period as the puck gets shot in. Kyle Powell looking for a friend to pass to, finds an outcamped Anderson, who will dump it off, look to the bench. They tell him to stay on. And the Black Bears right back on the forecheck. Vinny Susi gives up the puck temporarily as the puck gets flown across the ice into the hands of Chris Hunt for Mississippi. Temporary. Now Anderson once again. A heavy shift for Anderson as he's taken down. Penalty coming up. 1:40 left to go. And Vinny Susi is going to get the gate for a hooking call. 3-3 ball game, and the Black Bears are going back to the man advantage. The tunes of Ozzy Osbourne try to get the crowd pumped up. Here, 1:47 left to go. The next goal could be the game to sign, and it looks like that the Black Bears have called timeout. First timeout used by the Black Bears this season. 1:47 left to go. As The video operations crew doing a great job downstairs in the room, putting some of Ric Flair's highlights up on the video board right now, trying to get the crowd energized. 1:47 left to go. The Black Bears will be on the power play. Vinny Susi, who had the game's first goal, is the latest member of the Seawolves to be given the gate into the penalty box. It looks like it'll be Yates, Yarwood, Kirkby, Jurich, and Powell. Again, Coach Gary Gill going with 2 defensemen on his power plays tonight. Puck is dropped, and Liskowitz didn't even know it. Back at his net. Puck thrown on by Powell. Wayrick might have got a piece of it. Yates looking for some real estate here. Give it up to one of his best friends, Tyler Jurich. Jurich and Powell trade places all across the blue line, as Yarwood has some trouble locating the puck in his skates. Maybe some choppy ice here in the final minutes of regulation. 1:23 left to go. Puck is behind the net. And now Gavin Yates trying to sidestep his man. Looking for a friend to pass to. Keeps it on his forehand, but it will be elevated out of the zone by Mississippi. Comes all the way down the ice, and Kyle Powell will recollect it. It appears that the teams will be content to keep all 9 players the same on the ice. Here comes Tyson Kirkby, and his return to Binghamton on his backhand almost put it in off of one of the defenders. Bush Anderson almost redirected that into his own net. 50 seconds left to go in regulation time. 60 seconds remain on the power play. Up pass, knocked down at the blue line momentarily by Mississippi. Binghamton tries again. They cross the line on sides. Now Anderson with the puck on the far side of your screen. The right winger looking for some real estate, puts it into the stick of one of the defenders, and Levier will carry away. Takes a look down the ice, knows that his team needs a change, and takes a look up at the scoreboard, sees 25 seconds counting, and gives it back to Binghamton. Jake Schultz, one up pass for Anderson. Anderson crosses the zone onside. They wrap it all the way around the board. 15 seconds left to go. Mississippi content to let the clock run out and make sure that they leave tonight at least with 1 point. 7 seconds and 6. Boilar throws it across the crease. 2 seconds and 1. Schultz fires at the horn, just wide. And for the first time this year, we will need extra hockey to decide this one. We're going to keep it right here. And this period is brought to you by the Toyota RAV4. It's the Toyota RAV 4th period of the game. Test drive an all-new RAV4 today at your local Toyota dealer. They take a quick clean of the ice, and boy, oh boy. Let's quickly run through how we got here in the 3rd period. It was 2-2 before we came out of the respective tunnels. An early goal, 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the frame at even strength from Chris Hunt, assisted by Yaroslav Yadokimov, would give Mississippi a 3-3 lead as they play the intermission. Disclaimer, it is a 5-minute sudden death. If we're still tied after 5, we will go to a shootout. It'll be 3-on-3 hockey. And Austin Thompson at 15:54 at even strength from Cam Yarwood and Kyle Powell. Thompson the goal, Yarwood and Powell the assist as we get set to go. It's 3-on-3 hockey, but for 13 seconds, the Black Bears will put an extra man on the ice. The next dead whistle after the 13 seconds to the Vinny Susi penalty will be played at 4-on-4, and then both teams will take one player each off of the ice after the penalty has expired and the next dead whistle. Jurich, Kirkby, Yarwood, and Schultz for the Black Bears. For the Seawolves, Matt Caranci, Caleb Boudreau, and Ethan Bush Anderson. Face off one, and here come the Black Bears. 10 seconds left remaining of power play time. 4-on-3. Schultz thought about it. Jurich winds up and shoots it into his own man. Jurich finding for the loose puck. They got to watch out as we now go 4-on-4. Mississippi kills off the penalty in the final minute and a half of regulation. Slap shot from Schultz is turned aside by Wayrick in the first 15 seconds of overtime. Mississippi does a good job killing off the penalty. Kirkby loads the cannon once again up for Schultz and once again turned aside by Wayrick. Mississippi gets the puck deep. Liskowitz directing traffic as it ends up on the skate of Schultz. He will direct it around. Thought about dropping it for Kirkby, but now Schultz, a big head of steam for the big, tall man. Carrying down low below the red line. Mississippi now getting their first chance to take over. After the next whistle, both teams will lose a player and they will drop back down to 3-on-3. As here comes Levier, head of steam. They try to stand Levier up at the blue line. Levier does a good job of dancing around some Black Bear defenders. Thompson now trying to chip it away. They could have been an odd man rush going the other way. It looks like the Black Bears will come up with it in the form of the aforementioned Austin Thompson. Boylard gets it stripped away. And it's a 2-on-2 opportunity now. Daniel McKirktrick misfires on his wrist shot. And a slap shot put on by Dennis Honcharenko, who has a goal earlier in tonight's contest. Binghamton will chip it ahead. Still 4-on-4 hockey. 3:15 left to go as the Seawolves go for the stretch pass. But here comes Gavin Yates with the puck. Too hot to handle for the Seawolves as Yates collects the loose change. Wrist shot trying to pin the corner. Good save by Wayrick. Schultz loading up. Wrist shot blocked on the way through by McKirktrick. Abbott looking for some real estate. Throws a wrist shot. Turned aside as Yates fighting for the loose puck below the goal line now. And Yarwood lays into his man. And out come the Seawolves momentarily. Honcharenko now going up against Gavin Abbott. Honcharenko will just give it away to Abbott and get off for a change. A tired bunch from Mississippi as Abbott throws it all the way around the board. Schultz, who's been out there the entire 2.5 minutes so far. As Yates will pull it back out of the blue line. Here change Schultz, Yates coming off, as well as Yarwood, Powell, Jurich, and Boylard coming in to replace. Kirkby following his man, looks at the bench for a sign. Looks like Kirkby's going to be content to keep going. Levier carries in the blue line, but the Seawolves are offsides. 2:05 left to go in overtime. Shots 32 Binghamton, 24 for Mississippi. That's our first whistle of overtime, almost 3 minutes in. The ice will open up now as we go to 3-on-3 hockey. With the puck now is Seawolves alternate captain Chris Levier. He gives it up for Ethan Bush Anderson. Bush Anderson coming in, power move, turned aside by Liskowitz, seeing his first shot of overtime. And Tyson Kirkby still on the ice for the Black Bears. Tries to throw it up to Kyle Powell, but the Seawolves take advantage of it. Stretch pass too far out ahead of Levier, and that allow Powell to come back and set things up. Kirkby makes his way over to the top of your screen, carrying the puck in. Powell coming off as Yarwood steps on. And they're going to say it's offsides as Yarwood couldn't toe the blue line. Face-off coming up with 1:16 left to go in the Toyota RAV fourth period. McKittrick and Thompson go at it on the face-off, won by Thompson as Yarwood collects the puck in his own zone, and the Black Bears start a breakout 3-on-3. Yarwood dancing around a defender. Yarwood in all alone, backhand save by the goaltender. Wayrick standing on his head in overtime. What a move by Yarwood in the final minute of the Toyota RAV fourth period. Anderson now with the puck, trying to spin around his defender, Vinny Susi. Giving it back up for Yarwood. Yarwood towing, dragging around one defender. Can he make it two? Has the puck below the net, centering pass in front. They score! Austin Thompson sends everybody home happy for Binghamton. 4-3 final as the Black Bears win for the first time in the Toyota RAV fourth period. Final count, Binghamton 4, Mississippi 3. Black Bears remain unbeaten so far on the young season. They improve to 3-0-0. They pick up the extra points available tonight. And with 40 seconds left to go, Binghamton walks off as winner. Centering pass from Yarwood, his second assist of the night, to Austin Thompson, picking up his second goal of the night. Overtime winner over the blocker of Blake Wayrick. We are going to send it to commercial to wrap things up. Final count here. Stick around for the La Quinta Inn and Suites post-game show, brought to you by our friends over at La Quinta by Wyndham. 4-3 final count. Black Bears winners at home in overtime. Back with you for the La Quinta Inn and Suites post-game show after these messages on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome into the La Quinta Inn and Suites post-game show. If you're thinking about planning a stay here in the Southern Tier, you need to check out our friends over at La Quinta Inn and Suites by Wyndham. Boy, oh boy, what a game. Black Bears were down 2-0, faced adversity for the first time all season, but they emerge as victors 4-3. Time for the Budweiser 3 stars of the game. Black Bear fans, this Bud's for you. Third star of the night is Kyle Powell with a pair of an assist. Another pair of assists for the second star of the game is Cameron Yarwood. Yarwood had assists on the game tying goal at 3-3 and on the game winning goal in overtime. And the Man of the hour, Austin Thompson, continues to stay hot now at 5 goals through 3 games. Number 25 for the green and black tonight, your Budweiser first star of the game. Those are our 3 stars of the game. Budweiser, America's beer. Please drink responsibly. No time like the present to go ahead and get to the highlights presented by the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club. Binghamton Hockey Booster Club making sure that hockey is supported well here in Binghamton. We're going to take a look at the official game sheet as it gets turned in thanks to our good friends in the off-ice officials department. They put in a lot of hard work. You see them in disguise. They're incognito at all Black Bear and FPHL games for that matter. Taking a look at the shots on goal, final count, Binghamton 34 and Mississippi 25. 5 shots in overtime for Binghamton, 7 in the final frame. Both teams were at 7 in the third period, but only 1 for Mississippi in overtime. 1 goal in the first period for Mississippi. That comes off of a goal by Vinny Susi, the first goal of the season and new franchise for the Mississippi Seawolves. That's where we stood after 1 period. They would take a lead into the locker room and score again first in the second period, and this time it would be Dennis Hocharenko getting the second tally of the game, and then Binghamton would answer and make it 2-1. It would be Tyler Jurch out at 5-on-3 power play goal, and then Gino D'Angelo at even strength tied the game up at 2. That's where we stood after 40 minutes. Get to the third period now. We go a little further into the we go quickly into the action, and it's number 27, Chris Hunt, getting the go-ahead goal, 2:34 into the game. That would be answered in the final 5 minutes of the game by Austin Thompson on the assist from Cam Yarwood and Kyle Powell. That came at even strength, 15:54 in the period. We go now to the we now move into the fourth period, the Toyota RAF fourth period, and it's Austin Thompson, and on the assist from Cameron Yarwood and Jesse Anderson, 4:21 left to go after Mississippi killed off a penalty in regulation and overtime to make sure that they came away with 1 point. Save of the game brought to you by our friends at NY529 Savings Program comes in the third period. Owen Liskowitz making a high glove save on Chris Hunt, who had a knuckle puck, and Liskowitz with a late reaction to it, making sure that he would collect the loose change and whistle down for a frozen puck as we would go to commercial in the third period. That is the NY529 save of the game, brought to you by the New York 529 Savings Program. We're going to take a quick timeout, take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and the updated standings as we move along in the La Quinta Inn & Suites postgame show. Back with you after these messages. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. In and Sweets post-game show. Black Bears winners in the Toyota RAV fourth period tonight by a fourth goal scored by Austin Thompson, his 5th of the season, over the newcomers of the FPHL, the Mississippi Seawolves, by a final count of 4-3. 40 seconds remained in overtime. Cam Yarwood centering pass out to Austin Thompson. Second assist of the night for Yarwood and second goal of the night for Thompson as well. Black Bears improved to 1-0 in overtime decisions this year, 3-0-0 on the year. As we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we wrap things up here tonight, Port Huron 4-3 over Carolina over in Michigan right now. Thunderbirds dropping their first game of the season. We take a quick peek around the other games. 5-2 River Dragons over Mammoth. That game still going on in the third period at First Arena, not too far away down the road. Delaware Thunder trailing 2-3 right now against the Danbury Hat Tricks. And in the final game of the night, Watertown and Motor City are still searching for the game's first goal, and they are tied at 0-0. We want to thank you for being a part of tonight's broadcast, wherever you may be listening in on YouTube or at home or inside the arena on iHeartRadio or Fox 1430 in Binghamton. We will be live again tomorrow at 6:45 for the rematch of Seawolves and Black Bears. Once again, it's Halloween night presented by Slaughterland and Party City. Pre-game trick-or-treating on the concourse as the gates will open up at 5:30. Costume contest going on during the game and a post-game skate afterwards. A reminder, skates not provided. Come to the arena with your skates like I have mine in my car. Final count here inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Black Bears 4, Seawolves 3. We will talk to you again tomorrow night. For Josh Williams in the video room downstairs, and for Michael back at the studio, I'm Brooks Hill signing off for everybody in the Binghamton Black Bears organization. Have a good rest of your Friday evening, everybody. Talk to you again tomorrow. You've been listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Yep, not a problem. I'll see you tomorrow.
Are you doing it tomorrow too?
Yep.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Audio sounded good?
Audio sounded fine.
All right, that's what I love to hear. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep.